in perspective. Express yourself.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM, 97.3.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Senyor Sunya Sasington Warino, Sarana way me from Sunyi Narefio. Yanuma, Jishi Mocha, Finiki Gabian, Nona, Amame Dipim, which I name a team, a Wayata. Mesha when yon yam, Namakan yo mochani to me, no, I am a me. Awawato beni say yes to we mami wasi ami boni jina wase yansu irani majifa umoja na mamejibi yesu nyawaye nismeji wechita awawato beni say yes to we mami wasi ami boni jina
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Citi 97.3. Senyor Sunya Sasington Warino, Sarana way me from Sunyi Narefio. And Yanuma, the Shimocha, a Finiki Gabian, Nona, a Mama Sepi, which I named a team, Bono said I cheer a man sign, Namakanya, you sorry to me, no. I am a me.
Six 27, 97.3 Citi FM. This is an old. I'm not sure I call this an oldie. Certainly not a new song. But it's from Cindy Thompson's Messiah, one of the most impactful albums in Ghana's modern history. Starting the show with Business Sense for today, brought to you by Access Bank. And I saw something pretty thought-provoking on Instagram. I'm going to use that for Business Sense this morning. So it says John D. Rockefeller was the world's first billionaire. And here are some things he wrote to his son in 15 sentences. I'm not going to read all the 15. I'm just going to pick some of the 15 things he said to his son. Number one, our destiny is determined by our actions, not by our origins. I thought that was quite powerful. Our destiny is determined by what we do, not where we are from. That is very powerful. Then he also says action solves everything. Now I had to think about that for a bit to get it to sink in, but I think it's true. Good intentions don't solve any problem. It's actually actions. So you can see something and say, this is so bad. Or you could say, this can be so good to do. And then you just think about it and go back to sleep. It doesn't change anything. So it's action that solves problems. It's not intentions. Then he says something. Humans function like a bicycle. Unless you move up and forward towards the target, you will stagger and fall. So essentially, if you're not going forward, you're retrogressing. That's what he says. Humans function like a bicycle. Unless you move up and forward towards the target, you will stagger and fall. So the design of a person is to paddle forward all the time towards the target. And then this is really, really powerful. He says failure is a learning experience. You can either turn it into a tombstone or a stepping stone. Failure is a learning experience. So maybe you ran for election 2016, you lost in 2020. You tried again in 2024. So you lose the election, but you don't lose the lesson. So what led to the loss? Was it your internal dysfunction as a team? Was it a superior message from your opponent? Was it your own lack of seriousness? But definitely learn from failure. And then the last one for this morning, and I think it's my favorite, he says, too many people overestimate what they lack, but underestimate what they have, and lose the chance to become a winner. Wow. Too many people overestimate what they lack, but underestimate what they have, and therefore they lose the chance to become a winner. I thought that was so true. Because all the time, Charlie, God, I need this, I need this, I need that. But I already have a lot of people, you have things, you have great things going for you. So let's have a proper estimation of what we lack and a more realistic estimation of what we actually have. And I think some of this is even true for us in our discussions. Sometimes you're like, oh, Ghana, things are not working. Charlie, but we have a lot of things. So sometimes when you think about what we have, you have a lot of good things. We have a lot of good things. And I really pray for the wisdom to be more balanced, because a lot of times we sound so negative, sometimes we sound so positive. We need to be balanced, because the key to a life of success is also balance. And I'm getting all of this from John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller. This is one of the posts I follow on Instagram. Very powerful. Our destiny is determined by our actions, not our origins. Action solves everything. Humans function like a bicycle. Unless you move up and forward towards the target, you will stagger and fall. Then he says everything is a learning experience. Every failure is a learning experience. You turn it into a tombstone or a stepping stone. And then the last one for this morning, which I thought was so powerful. Too many of us overestimate what we lack. We make what we don't have seem so big. And then we make what we have seem so small. That's not great. That's not gratitude. That's not good. Now, this is Business Sense, brought to you by Access Bank. So, as we say, Fakitwa Beji Kesie. I love it. Deposit a minimum of 250 cedis into your new or existing Access account. It could be current or savings. To join the promo, increase to 500 and you qualify for a draw. And we have a jackpot of 500,000 cedis in cash and other amazing rewards like PS5, iPhone 16, Chromebooks and more in our 4 monthly mini draws. We also have 2 mega draws. This promo is running from now till September 2025. We're partnering with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. 2 things to remember. The phone number 0800 004400. And of course, Fakitwa Veggie Kessie. Oh my God. I love that.
Senyor Surnya Sasin Tenwarino, Sarana Wayini from Sunyi Narefiho.
And on the wings of that great revelation from John D. Rockefeller, we want to go into the newspaper review segment, which is the first junction in this journey. And it's proudly sponsored by Total Energies with our wonderful Excellium new formula, an additive enriched fuel with its powerful 3-in-1 action, cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. You will drive and drive and drive. We're also sponsored by Fidelity Bank, where dreams of youth becomes the ambitions of adulthood. Wherever you are on that journey, we will support you, we will help you grow, we will help you flourish with hard work, dedication, and of course, the right finance. We are here for your journey. Believe with us at Fidelity Bank. And of course, People Beverages also proud to be associated with the news review here on the City Breakfast Show. Ask about any of our wonderful flavors: the cola, the orange, the cocktail, the grape, and the tangerine. Piva, a taste you will love. We will be jumping into the headlines right after this.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
If you have 250 Ghana cedis right now, it can do wonders for you. Chairman, Fabeji, it could turn your tears into joy in the Access Bank Fakitwa Beji Kessie promo. Madam, Fabeji, it could get you up to 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize. Business owner, Fabeji, as a student, make transactions with your Access Bank card, and that could get you Spotify and Netflix subscriptions, PS5, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and more. This be out of class Enzo. Fabeji, you see what 250 Ghana cedis can do for you? And Gasakra. Fabeji, it's the Access Bank Fakitwa Beji Kessie promo. Deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis and its multiples in your new or existing account, and be on your way to winning a share of the 580,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes and other amazing rewards. The more you deposit, the more your chances of winning. Promo runs from now to September 2025. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
J. Martins. Yeah. Let's do this. Now waiting they happen. Why you they worry? Life for now, JJ, so just try to take them softly. Come on. Even if you lose, with some of money. Okay. No matter the problem, never make them weigh you down. Hey, if you believe, you go defeat. Stand up to your feet and say no to your defeat. If you believe, only Jah fit do the rest. You fit be the next. Believe in me, I say. If your girlfriend or maybe your wifey, she dey play you while she dey sleep around with your friends. Cool your temper, I say make you know they think I'm okay. No matter the way that, hey my brother, try forget them. Hey, if you believe, you go defeat. Stand up to your feet and say no to your defeat. Believe and do the best. Only Jah fit do the rest. You fit be the next. Believe in me.
Now, I wanted to read an SOS message I received from a former colleague. She used to work in the media, right, and now she's working in the private sector. But she sent me this message. I always tell her, when somebody sends you a message and you wake up to see it, it must be very serious. So she said, good morning. Okay, let me go the whole thing. Good morning, boss. And this message came at 1:22. No, 12:22. I was asleep. So I saw it this morning. Good morning, Bernard. Sorry to come at this late hour. We have a critical problem with a high tension pole in the area. It caught fire on April 23, 2025. We called the fire service and they came and put out the fire. Officials of ECG came and did not do anything about the matter. This is a picture I took of the hole created in the pole after the fire. I sent this to the ECG social media handle, X, during the week, trying to get them to come and resolve the issue. As I text you now, with the downpour last night, the pole caught fire again. This is an electric pole with many ropes or cords or wires, and it's broken. So the electric pole is bent. We have called fire service and ECG to come and resolve the issue before we record any casualties should the electrical wires come down into the neighborhood. Please, if you put in a word on air, the ECG may see the seriousness and attend to it. So I asked, good morning, where is this? Then she says, Madina Maya Hot. Now she then sends me a video of the thing actually burning.
Wow.
You know, and then she now sends me a video of fire service coming to put out the fire.
Yeah.
So fire service seems to be responding, but I think her problem is that ECG doesn't.
is not minding
and
them.
Sky, look at the way the thing is. You see, it's like a junction of poles.
Oh,
you see,
that's unfortunate.
2 or 3 poles coming to. It's a very. If this
It's
thing.
actually 2 poles, but one is broken at the top.
And then there's also like different wires from different
It
corners.
looks risky, but
Very risky. So this is Maya Hot, and Maya Hot is a place I know.
Why hot?
Maya Hot. So ECG, please go to Maya Hot and go and put that fire off
quick,
so that my friend can sleep in
fast.
peace. To be sending me a message at 12:22. I mean, what is that? So that's the first one.
Yes.
Let's get into the headlines. Today I have a few things I want to raise, but I will deal with them as we do the headlines.
Fantastic. Chronicle this morning, CJ Saga, John Mahama has not flouted any law. Alan Cash's MFC is speaking. Suspension of Justice Tokono is illegal. President must reverse order immediately. This is the Ghana Bar Association, and President Mahama launches Mahama Cares to address chronic health issues.
Let me take you to the daily graphic for this morning. Ghana Medical Trust Fund launched. Support Mahama Cares. President urges corporate Ghana. Beautiful ceremony yesterday, and I support this particular initiative because it means a lot to the health sector. Also, special supplement on May Day, so you get a pull out from this particular edition of the newspaper. Boko crisis mediation off to positive start. That's good news. And assist children affected by community mining. CRI is talking and simplify tax laws to curb evasion. Abeku Jan Kwansa telling the government.
The Ghanaian publisher leads with GBA and says GBA dares Mahama show us case against CJ. And local government committee rallies support for Zoom Lion. Asin Trump backs again. Even poor people want to speak their minds. How much more me, a rich man? That's the angle.
The Informer says Galamsey fight, declare state of emergency. Government urge, and comes with a photograph of Kenneth Ashigbe, who is leading the line in this particular space.
Yes.
And then also Alhaji Inusa Fuseni, a former member of parliament for Tamale Central, who is also taking the similar.
A former minister for lands as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, Parliament supports Zoom Lion. This matter is never going away. And then economic revival in Amanokrom, ignited by Sami Oku's Ofie Market initiative.
The Ghanaian Point. President Mahama launches Ghana Medical Trust Fund, promises to donate 6 months' salary. Kokofu and Boache entry battle to unseat Kodia in NPP General Secretary race. Akufo-Addo to snub Baumia in upcoming MPP Congress. This is Arthur Kennedy speaking. 3 suspected gold smugglers arrested by Gold Board Task Force, remanded by court. And Ibrahim Mahama has pledged support as HOPSA 2001 year group launches sustainable water project.
The Daily Democrat says this morning Mahama launches life-saving medical trust fund, and the president is seen here beautifully smiling on the front page of the Daily Graphic, the Daily Democrat. Also, Minister of Education launches no fees stress portal. So, no school fees for first year students. So they have started the registration. So I'm going back to.
Does this include
no. This is for freshers. You grow too much.
Does this include masters?
I want to do another degree, like.
So that we can be free.
No HTT. No HTT. You are too old. You want to go back to
it's a growing, you know.
Some of the lectures will even call you brass guy. Now let me give you some headlines online.
Okay.
Unless you finish.
Yes, exclusive quickly. KGL Group renews 20 million Ghana Citi GFA deal via Sports Ministry. Kofi Adams congratulates newly elected GOC leadership. Mahama Cares funds target chronic illness crisis, and Parliament backs Zoom Lion, urges sanitation sustainability nationwide. And then interesting one on Junior Graphic this morning. Don't experiment with vaping. It's highly addictive, causes health problems.
Very important. Now there are a few stories on citynewsroom.com. I want to just add to what you've done.
Right.
KNUSC students stabbed during MPP Thank You Tour event at Bantama, a very serious one. A whole raft of stories on the MPP. I have about 5 of them. MPP must elect a flag bearer by December 2025.
Okay.
This is Kwabena Agyapong's proposal.
This year.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Everybody's proposing something.
Hey.
He also says learn from defeat and stop the blame game. All right. Then Freddie Blay, former chairman of the party, says Thank You Tour is rebuilding the party's unity.
Okay.
Now, there's also Okwe report shows over 2 million MPP people didn't vote, according to Osei. All right. And he says the report is not for public consumption, but for guiding the MPP's future. Then, away from MPP, Mahama nominates 33 DCs for the Eastern region. And then GBA says CJ suspension is untenable.
Yeah.
And therefore, basically, it should be reversed. But Justice Shamsai is taking issue with that, as is Adaudu. So there's a lot of commentary around this. If you go to Channel 1 News, Metro Mass Transit to roll out electric buses in push for greener transport.
Okay.
We'll focus a bit on that this morning. And then there's a lot of angles on the CJ. So, for example, Kweku Azan says, don't pass judgment before the Lord does. Kweku Azan to GBA.
Okay.
Edu Tamaklo is also responding. Mahama hasn't adjudicated CJ Tokonu's removal. And then a few other reactions to this. Meanwhile, GMPC's Explore could sink under transfer debts. This is the PIAC report coming in after we are told Ghana's revenue from oil was the highest we've seen in a few years. A few more stories. My Joy Online, they also lead with the CJ. Law is not democracy. Deputy AG says GBA resolution on CJ suspension is legally meaningless. Then there's a lot on MPP. Kojom Pieni asks Baumia, what are you thanking the people for? Do you know Kojom Pieni?
Yeah, man.
Former chief of staff. He also says, suspend Thank You Tour, it will deepen divisions. Kojom Pieni to MPP. So a lot of people. And as you read, Sky, level 100 students, no fee stress policy. Haruna launches the portal for students. Those are the big stories this morning. Maybe let's start with the launch of the health thing.
Exactly. So the Daily Graphic leads with that. Augustine Atewia, writing for the paper this morning, says the President, John Dramani Mahama, has appealed to organizations in the public and private sectors to devote a portion of their annual social investments to support the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, otherwise known as the Mahama Cares Initiative. Now, he explained that those who would benefit from the fund were either their clients or staff. Therefore, supporting the cause will be a worthy cause for both the benefactors and beneficiaries. Now, the President made the appeal yesterday at the launch of the Medical Trust Fund at the University of Ghana Medical School inside the University of Ghana, Legon. Now, the initiative, Mahama Cares, is a landmark initiative introduced by the government to decisively confront the growing burden of chronic, non-communicable diseases in our country. Now, the fund will support specialist-level treatment for a range of chronic diseases, including cancers, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, chronic kidney failure, stroke, and other complications. It would also progressively expand to cover convalescent care, palliative services, and home-based support. Now, support from the fund will be based on formal applications which will be carefully vetted. It would also focus on costs not currently covered under the National Health Insurance Scheme. It's
Let
a
me give
beautiful
you
initiative.
two related
and I
stories.
think that it has got to be supported in diverse ways.
Two very related stories from the two teaching hospitals,
Right.
one in Ho and the other in Sunyani. So, Ho Teaching Hospital CEO is calling for development of a tertiary healthcare policy. Dr. John Tampuri, CEO of the Ho Teaching Hospital, has appealed to the government to support the development of a national tertiary healthcare policy to strengthen specialized healthcare delivery in Ghana. This was when the Parliamentary Committee on Health, led by Dr. Thomas Anaba, visited the facility in Ho. Then Sunyani Teaching Hospital introduces home care and 24-hour OPD services, according to the CEO. So the management of Sunyani Teaching Hospital has announced home care and 24-hour outpatient department services to meet the health demands of the growing population. According to Dr. Cardinal Newton, who's the CEO, the initiative would further reduce pressure on the emergency services and bring healthcare services delivery close to the doorsteps of clients.
Well, it will be useful to add the other launch that has happened. If you go to the Daily Democrat, school fees portal launch.
Okay.
Let me just get that story for you.
So, by the way, the MPs from the health committee are visiting various teaching hospitals. So they went to Ho, they went to Sunyani, and I need to commend them for what they are doing.
Okay.
Some of them spoke to the media, Dr. Titus Bayuo, and then also the MP for Lambusi. He's the same person actually.
Yeah.
Then Dr. Sebastian Sandari, who was also speaking at the meeting.
Okay, so let me just deal with that story quickly. If you go to page 6 of the Daily Democrat, Tuesday, April 29, 2025, in a landmark move to eliminate financial barriers to higher education, the Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has launched the No Fee Stress Policy Portal, a digital gateway designed to facilitate seamless access to tertiary education funding for Ghanaian students. Now, the launch formed part of the inauguration ceremony for the newly constituted board of trustees of the Students' Loan Trust Fund, the agency responsible for the implementation of the policy. Now, in his remarks, the minister urged the board to apply the expertise and exceptional credentials to effectively steer the affairs of the fund. So, if you are interested, the website address is www.nofeestress.s. Is it IOTF? .gov.ga.
I think that's Student Loan Trust Fund, so SLTF.
SLTF.
Yes.
You see, you are too old to benefit from it. You can't even see. You are too old to do
the
thing for the kids. You want to go to school again.
There's no age limit.
So this is how rich people's children are benefiting from the Cocoa Scholarship.
Why should this guy be?
I want to go back to.
You won't go back to anywhere.
KNUST to study art.
We are moving forward.
Now, suspension of Justice Tokono is illegal. Bernice Besse writes for Chronicle that the Ghana Bar Association has joined the growing wave of dissent against the recent suspension of Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokono by the administration of President John Dramani Mahama, calling the move unconstitutional and demanding its immediate revocation. In a strongly worded resolution passed during its 2025 mid-year conference held at the Labadi Beach Hotel on April 26, 2025, the association stated that the suspension violated key provisions of the 1992 constitution. Specifically, the GBA pointed to Article 14610, under which the president purportedly acted, and Article 296, which requires that discretionary powers be exercised in accordance with clearly defined regulations. Now, the action is unlawful. GBA contends that no constitutional instrument, statutory instrument, or other regulations exist to guide such discretion regarding the president's actions, rendering his actions unlawful. Quote, reconsider the suspension to be unconstitutional, the association declared in its official communique, adding that the president, who is neither a judge nor a judicial officer, cannot suspend the chief justice without a published legal framework governing such action.
Many reactions to this.
Yeah.
What I just wanted to highlight was that the MPP is preparing for a demonstration on May 5.
Oh, okay.
So, as part of their reaction to this, the national organizer of the MPP, Nanabi, says we are ready for May 5 Save the Judiciary demo.
Right.
Describing the move as a direct attack on the independence of the judiciary. The NPP and other parties have vowed to resist what they call growing political interference. You can see the political division here. So the Alan group and the PPP group seem to support the NDC.
That's right.
And then some of the others support the MPP. Now,
Right.
a couple of quick reactions in terms of what has been said. So Kweku has now, for example, a fellow of public law and justice at CDD disagrees with the GBA. He calls their demands prejudicial and legally unfounded. Deputy AG too has been speaking on this matter, and he's also disagreeing with the GBA. More on this during the substantive show.
Okay, let me take you now to the Informer. Declare state of emergency. Government urge Galamsey fight matter here in the Informer. And the story says a former minister for roads and highways, Alhaji Inusa Fuseni, and the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining have urged government to declare a state of emergency as a combative way of dealing ruthlessly with the Galamsey canker. Now, the former Tamale Central Member of Parliament contends that if the state of emergency declaration is not decreed, it could have serious political consequences for President John Dramani Mahama's administration. It will undermine public confidence in the government's efforts and credibility in tackling the menace. Now, it goes on to talk about some other things, but Kenneth Ashigbe is also quoted here in this particular publication. I want to draw your attention also to a story immediately beneath that one. Galamsey fight undermined by politicians. Dr. Obin's report, and
he was on an interview I did with him on Monday.
Exactly. So please, if you're interested in those stories, grab a copy of.
Let me give you two highlights on Galamsey. 10 excavators seized in anti-Galamsey crackdown. Eastern Regional Minister discloses. This is CitiNewsroom.com. The Eastern Regional Minister Rita Awate says the seizure of 10 excavators from illegal mining operators as part of renewed efforts to curb Galamsey activities in the region. And then, despite multiple government-led crackdowns, including initiatives like Operation Vanguard, etc., the problem persists. Speaking to journalists in the region on Tuesday, the minister said the action was part of a targeted operation to tackle the growing threat of illegal small-scale gold mining in the country. Then, some national security operatives attempt to abscond with seized Galamsey excavators. This story is by Albert Kuzo on My Joy Online, and it says Joy News has learned that a group of security operatives who identified themselves as members of national security allegedly attempted to remove 5 heavy-duty excavators from the office yard of the Ashanti Regional Forestry Commission. According to Joy News environmental correspondent Erastus Asaridonko, who has been closely covering the issue, the armed men stormed the premises of the commission and made off with 5 of the machines. He reports that the men claimed they were acting on orders from a higher political authority to take the seized machines. He noted that there was a confrontation between the commission's officers and the security personnel, but the officers were overpowered and the machines were driven away. However, shortly after the machines were taken, the security men returned all 5 excavators to the commission. Upon inquiry, it was revealed that the so-called political authority had ordered them to return the machines. So those are some Galamsey stories. Now let's come to MPP. There's a lot of stories, guys. So
much.
Let me start with this one that Citi Newsroom is leading with. Students stabbed during MPP Thank You Tour event at Bantama. This is our lead story on Citi Newsroom. A student of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, affiliated with Unity Hall, has been hospitalized after he was stabbed multiple times during an altercation at a Thank You Tour event of the MPP in the Ashanti region. The incident occurred on Tuesday at the Bantama Pentecost Church, where the event was held. The victim was part of the Jama group from Unity Hall, which had been hired by the camp of former Asin Central MP Kennedy Agyapong to help make the event lively. According to eyewitnesses, a wealthy friend of Kennedy Agyapong who attended the event dashed money to the Jama group. But a group of well-built gun-wielding men, believed to be MPP members, appeared from nowhere and took the money. This led to a confrontation between the Jama group and the well-built men as gunshots were fired in the ensuing melee. One of the Jama group members was stabbed in the process. He was rushed to the emergency unit of Comfort Anoche, where he is currently receiving treatment. Kennedy Agyapong and his team have lodged an official complaint at the Kumasi Central Police Command. No arrest has been made yet. So that's story number 1. Then everybody is talking about Thank You Tour. Freddie Blaze says Thank You Tour is good. It's rebuilding the party. Kojom Pianin says Thank You Tour should stop. It's not benefiting anybody. Samuel Afi has written an article and says they should stop the Thank You Tour. Kwame Agyapong says they should do flag bearer election by December this year.
And at Kennedy is saying Akufo-Addo was snubbed by me in the upcoming MPP Congress. And we are told Kokofu and Boachi Entry will battle to unseat Kodia in the NPP General Secretary race.
This is what it's called. It's called Kebi Mamin Kebi.
Thank you.
The literal meaning of democracy.
You talk,
I talk.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva cola, Piva orange, Piva cocktail, Piva grape, Piva tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now. Go, the go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go, the go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let's go. My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out on your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out on your side. And when you dream, no say I never you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna go, anything you do, I never you. If I believe I on your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I on your side, fidelity.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
7 o'clock on the dot. City Business News with Nashi Kasisa. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. I'm Nashi Kasisa. Coming up, Ghana's oil revenue surges to over $1 billion. Also coming up, Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation calls for calm amidst reported cyber breaches affecting over 5,700 MTN customers. And later, Ghana Association of Banks urges political actors to desist from interfering in investment decisions of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. Ghana earned over $1.35 billion in petroleum revenues in 2024, representing a 27.8% increase compared to the previous year. The growth was mainly driven by higher income from carried and participating interest, corporate income tax, and royalties. Daniel Odumensa has more in the following Business Desk report.
The Ghana Revenue Authority, mandated by the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, collected revenues from oil companies and paid them into the Petroleum Holding Fund. Payments included royalties, carried and participating interest, corporate income tax, surface rentals, and other sources. Crude oil liftings contributed $843.5 million to the Petroleum Holding Fund. This was a 22.2% rise from 2023. The Jubilee field alone accounted for $475.4 million, with 6 liftings recorded. The carried and participating interest was the largest revenue stream, totaling $603.5 million. Corporate income tax followed with $502.9 million, Royalties brought in $239.9 million, while income from Petroleum Holding Fund investments stood at $10.8 million. Despite the strong performance, proceeds from GMPC Explocos liftings totaling $145.7 million were not paid into the Petroleum Holding Fund. This adds to an outstanding amount of nearly $489 million since 2022. The report also flagged $2.89 million in unpaid surface rentals, mostly from companies with terminated petroleum agreements. Additionally, Ghana lost paid for gas volumes from the Sankofa Ginyame field due to non-recovery. PIAC emphasized the need for full compliance with revenue transfer requirements and better management of petroleum resources to safeguard national interests.
You had Daniel Odumensa with that Business Desk report. Now, the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations has called for calm following a reported cyber breach affecting approximately 5,700 MTN customers. In a public advisory, the ministry confirmed that it was working closely with the Cybersecurity Authority, the National Communications Authority, and the Data Protection Commission to investigate the breach. The collaborative effort aims to determine the scope of the breach, ensure customer data is protected, and enforce compliance with Ghana's data protection laws. The affected customers will be contacted as part of the response effort. In the meantime, authorities assure the public that updates will be provided as investigations continue. Away from that, the Ghana Association of Banks is urging political actors to refrain from interfering in the investment decisions of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT. The association warns that such actions could undermine the scheme's long-term sustainability and economic contribution. Speaking at the 2025 Money Market Conference organized by the Business and Financial Times BNFT in Accra, the association CEO John Ewa stressed the need for greater autonomy in SNIT's operations.
One of the critical areas that need urgent attention is the professional management of all pension funds, particularly SNIT, Ghana's largest pension fund. For years, it has been alleged that some investment decisions have either been politically influenced or have not been in the best interest of contributors to the scheme. And this has resulted in suboptimal fund management. Successive governments, while having vested interest in the health of the pension system, must not politicize its management. Pension fund managers must be held to professional standards that focus on professionalism, performance, transparency, and long-term sustainability. This shift can be started by removing alleged interference in investment decisions and prompt payment of pension deductions to fund managers, ensuring that decisions are made by qualified professionals with expertise in investment management.
That was the CEO of the Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, speaking there. Now, speaking to the media on the sidelines of the summit, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Christopher Boedi-Mensah, reaffirmed the authority's commitment to tightening regulatory oversight.
The pension space has to be properly regulated so that, because the pension funds is growing, we have an asset of in excess of about $6 billion, almost 100 billion cedis. If there are not proper regulations and fund managers, custodians, trust companies just do anything, it can create a problem. So we believe that there must be a proper regulation as to what we are doing in the pension space. We've done a lot in terms of regulation because we have a system now where we can actually, NPR have a system where the industry can actually log on, we can see whatever they are doing. We are making sure we have even moved from compliance and we are now on risk-based, kind of regulation. So we are doing a lot to actually ensure that, pension fund is properly protected.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, Christopher Boydi Mensah speaking there. Away from that, the West African Gas Pipeline Company, WAPCO, is calling for stronger collaboration among Ghana and its neighboring countries to resolve persistent payment challenges that are contributing to a regional gas supply deficit. According to WAPCO, tackling these financial bottlenecks is critical to ensuring a reliable minimum base load to support power generation and industrial activity across West Africa. Speaking at the West African Gas Pipeline Committee of Ministers meeting in Accra, WAPCO Managing Director Michelle Beckett stressed the urgency of a coordinated action to stabilize gas flow and drive energy security in the sub-region.
First, in securing sustainable gas supply. While we have seen vast improvements in the gas deliveries from Nigeria, gaps still remain to meet the demand in the region. We appeal for coordinated efforts to secure a minimum sustained baseload of approximately 150,000 MMBTU per day through the Elps into the WAGP in 2025, pending completion of ongoing enhancement projects. Second, strengthening financial stability through collaborative solutions. We recognize that payment challenges reflect broader systemic issues, and we sincerely appreciate the efforts made by all parties to address them. To maintain operational continuity and support critical investments, we ask the committee to help us establish a shared pathway to resolving all outstanding commercial matters, and we are ready to work jointly with all relative entities to develop practical and transparent mechanisms for payment security and sustainability.
That was the Managing Director of the West African Gas Pipeline Company, WAPCO, Michelle Beckett, speaking there. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. The dollar is going for 15 cedis, 70 pesos. The British pound is going for 20 cedis, 40 pesos. And the euro is going for 17 cedis, 40 pesos. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. And that's all for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, GOIL, and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Massa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Hey, Akos, you know we have been friends since childhood, and we always tell each other everything.
Oh, Cynthia, I know that, and that is why you're my best friend.
We even eat together, and I have spare keys to your room. I also know your phone password.
Cynthia, don't I also know your phone password?
Yes, so, but what about your Momo PIN?
No way.
Indeed, Akos, your Momo PIN is your secret. Do not share your PIN for any reason or give your PIN to someone to send cash on your behalf. Davida, never give out your PIN or OTP as a means of claiming a so-called promotional prize won. Your PIN is like your toothbrush. It only belongs to you. Stay alert.
MTN.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's 11 after 7, and every day people face different emergencies. police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency, you name it. Many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here's one you don't want to forget. Star 770 hash. Star 770 hash. Yes, star 770 hash is the new EcoBank money emergency number. Star 770 hash. This gives you instant access to loans, funds transfer, utility payments, airtime, data purchases, so much more, even without data. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial star 770 hash now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Hello Ghana, exciting news for everyone looking to join the MTN family or grab an extra MTN SIM card. All MTN SIM cards are available for the incredible price of just 10 cedis. Yes, you heard right, only 10 Ghana cedis. Head down to any MTN service center, Connect store, or your nearest authorized community shop to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Remember to purchase your new SIM card and get connected. All you need to bring is your valid Ghana card. It's that simple. Don't buy your SIM anywhere else for more than 10 Ghana cedis. So, what are you waiting for? Experience the most amazing network when you join the Yellow family today. It's 13 after 7 and we're getting ready for kickoff. Edwin Kwakove is here with all you need to know in the world of sports. Kickoff is proudly brought to you by Polytank Lesheho and Helix 0W20. Talking about Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP. So this is Ghana, right? You only get deceived if you are not sure of what you are buying or you don't really know the market. But when it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytank. Jack Papanonian. More than 30 years on the market, trusted by all these generations. Make no mistakes, always choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. Available at the same price across the country. At Polytank partner shops, be it Rambo, Hippo, Sumo or Super Sumo, durability is always assured. Polytank is the original, always the best. Papa no Ankasa Ankasa. The caution for you is that we do not request Momo payment online. Now listen, the Lesheho Donkomi campaign has come to you because you deserve financial peace. Life comes with financial challenges, but with Lesheho, you don't have to face them alone. From now until April 30, 2025, we've reduced our interest rates just for you. So whether it's education, rent, or unexpected expenses, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Simply WhatsApp or call Nana on 0270-040-799, 0270-040-733. Let's make life easier together. Act now before the offer ends. T's and C's apply. Let's share whole. Let's improve life. Now, there are some classy celebrations that call for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine won't do. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0 W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium vehicle. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed from natural gas using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Shell Pure Plus technology prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0 W20 SP, made for premium. Shell Helix Ultra 0 W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance. And Kickoff is proudly also sponsored by Zonda Ghana Limited, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
And Scalia here, nicely found. Timber with his eyes laser focused on the ball, and Paris Saint-Germain have the lead, and Dembele has scored after only 3 minutes play.
It's advantage PSG as Ousmane Dembele's 4th-minute strike gives the Parisians a slender lead in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League semi-final against Arsenal. Later, we'll bring you some reactions from last night's game at the Emirates. Kickoff is powered by Zonda GH, Politan Ghana, Shell go well, and Lesheho, let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. We start off with the Black Stars and Hearts of Oak legend Mohamed Polo, who says he wants to be honored while he is still alive, not after his death. Polo believes both his club and country are waiting for him to pass on before showing appreciation, a situation he finds troubling. He added that if he dies, he does not want any posthumous honors.
Somebody will ask why. Because they are waiting for me to die before they come. And I'm saying, no, they are. And if I die, no, I don't need anything again. I want to be honored now, because if I die, I don't even need. You see, it's very unfortunate. I was very sad when our captain, the 1978 captain, Awulekwe, when he died, he was given a. What is state burial? I said, what is it for? Just that? When this man is, I learned his leg was amputated. We didn't know. I didn't know. Why? What effort did he do?
That was Black Stars and Hearts of Oak legend Mohamed Polo. Staying with Black Stars legends, and Sam Johnson has expressed concern over the current generation of Ghanaian players, describing them as too soft. According to him, they have become accustomed to low standards, a trend he finds deeply worrying. Johnson stressed that Ghana is no longer the football powerhouse it once was, and as such, everything must be done properly to restore the nation's former glory.
Personally, I will always say, maybe some people will agree with me, some people will not agree with me. Even maybe the players, some of them will agree with me, some of them. They have that, how am I going to say it? They feel like it's okay, we can just win this game just like that. But football is changing. Well, you see some country that you never heard their name before, they will come and give you some slap you will never receive before in your lap. So when it comes to football now, you don't think, oh, Ghana, so we are there already. It's not like that anymore. We have a very quality play.
That was Black Stars legend Sam Johnson. To some other stories, and Guinness Ghana PLC, through its Blue Label brand, has launched the Johnny Walker Ghana Annual Golf Tournament. The 2-day competition is scheduled for the 30th and the 31st of May at the Achimota Golf Club, and will be strictly by invitation. Captain retired Prince Kofi Amoabeng believes the partnership is a perfect fit, saying the Blue Label's prestige matches the spirit of the tournament, making it an event to watch.
I think the two sports, the sport of golf and the aim of the drink or what they want to achieve, really match each other. I remember when I was made Johnny Walker icon or Johnny Walker giant, and I was asked to make a speech, and I said, I think my middle name should be JW, because my life is all about ups and downs, but I never stay down. I keep moving forward, and that is what Johnny Walker is about. And like it's been said here, the game of golf, you play badly and you always want to come back and correct it. You play well, you still want to come back and change the story. So you keep walking. So I think the two of them actually are in sync. And in terms of promoting Johnny Walker, this is the avenue where we will understand it and therefore support the game.
You heard from Captain retired Prince Kofi Amoabeng. To athletics, and Ghana's 100 meters record holder Benjamin Azamati will not be part of the country's contingent at the World Relays in China next month. Azamati was initially named as part of the team, but he has opted not to go because of timing constraints. As a result, team captain at the Paris Olympics, Joseph Paul Amwa, will lead a new look team which includes Ibrahim Fuseni and Barnabas Ageh, who featured for Ghana at last year's African Games. The rest of the team includes Sean Safo Enchi, who returns after missing the Paris Olympics through injury, and Mustafa Bokping. The 2025 World Relays will serve as qualification to the World Championships later this year and will run from May 10 to 11 in Guangzhou, China. Now let's head to Europe. Well, Arsenal head coach Mikel Arteta remains optimistic despite their 1-0 defeat to PSG in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final last night. Speaking after the game, he described the result as just half-time, stressing that Arsenal still have chance to overturn the deficit in the second leg in France.
We are half-time, and my message has been exactly the same. Post Real Madrid at home, 3-0. Is we have to go to Paris and win the game, and we are more than capable of doing it, because I saw two very good teams where the margins are so small and they had efficiency in front of the goal, and their keeper as well made a difference to see the result that we've seen tonight. And another two big situations that happened in the game that didn't go, unfortunately, our way.
Mark Deliver. Is it still 50-50 the tie?
I don't know the percentage, but we have a lot of chances to be in that final. And as I repeat myself, you have to do something special in the competition to earn the right to be in the final. And the time to do it is going to be in Paris.
Tom, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. Can I just ask you about two moments? The referee became a bit of a target, I think, for the fans in the grounds. There was one moment where...
That was Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta. PSG head coach Luis Enrique said the second leg against Arsenal will be difficult, but he's confident they can overcome the challenge.
You feel that energy that both teams create into the pitch. I think we need to prepare the second match. It's going to be difficult. The result, it means a little bit of advantage for us. But I think we need to go through that match with same mentality, and we are going to suffer. We know that, and I hope we can. Our supporters in our stadium and with our atmosphere, I think we can go through the final. That's our message. But there is still one match.
That was PSG head coach Luis Enrique. Later tonight, Barcelona will take on Inter Milan in the second semi-final. That match kicks off at 7 p.m. In tennis, Novak Djokovic has decided to pull out of the Internazionale BNL d'Italia in Rome following his shock defeat to Matteo Arnaldi in the second round of the Madrid Open. The world number 5 is on a 5-match losing streak, with his latest defeat coming at the Madrid Open on Saturday when he lost to world number 44 Matteo Arnaldi in the second round, leaving the Serb still hunting for his first win of the clay season. In basketball, in the NBA playoffs, Tyrese Halliburton blew past Giannis Antetokounmpo for the go-ahead layup with 1.3 seconds left to close an 8-0 run that sent the Pacers past the Milwaukee Bucks 119-118 on Tuesday night for a 4-1 series victory. Kate Cunningham scored 24 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists as the Detroit Pistons stayed alive in their first postseason appearance since 2019 by beating the New York Knicks 106-103 on Tuesday night in Game 5 of their first round series. The Knicks still lead that series by 3-2, and Jason Tatum had 35 points, 10 assists and 8 rebounds as the Boston Celtics beat Orlando 120-89 in Game 5 of their first round playoff series on Tuesday night. And finally, Jamal Murray's 43-point outburst powered Denver Nuggets to a 131-115 win over the Los Angeles Clippers that handed LA their first back-to-back loss since March 4 and puts the Nuggets one win away from a round 2 matchup with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that's the latest in the world of sports. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff is powered by Shell. Shell go well. Politangana, Zonda GH, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avle continues.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra SP 020 made for premium. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Durable and authentic, stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytank, we did Polytank, Papa no no, 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 Alcasa. Polytank, Polytank, the original, always the best.
Services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, let's share go, mama. Let's share go, we improve your life.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
LPG. I am from a jar and hotse. Nanso say and hubetia mawa. I just would the adjume. Ansa na ube so ujanu. Hia. Nasha se from a jar hon can biara NJ ho. Se wote in from a jar hon pampana. Bue aponone mpomanu nyina. Ebane saa. Men so ana me numbri biara edi inyina mahoden eye adwuma. Dundum eja biara waso ho. Na fre onimdifo mano mmehwe mawo. Fasamina nsuo gu mframeja tontru wano ano. Se wuhu ehuro a natural se etue ampa. Ta ehwe se roban na etwe mframeja no hu ntue na ta ise sandroban no acha preko mfie mienu biara echi. Hwe se abri biara wo be soja no wo bepa wo matches ansa na waso wo stove. Hwe se mframeja ne ho asode no adum abri biara wo mfandi dwuma biara. Nkratuo yi efri National Petroleum Authority aswe.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The Money Matter segment is brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Welcome to the Money Matter segment with Petra. Here is how compound interest works. You earn interest on your savings, and next time, you earn interest on that interest too. It's like getting paid and then your payment gets paid. Over time, this builds serious wealth. So even if you start small, don't worry. Just be consistent. With time, your money will do the hard work. Petra is here to help your money make more money. Dial *447 *70 hash to speak to a financial advisor today. Petra, achieve more.
The Money Matters segment was brought to you by Petra. Petra, achieve more.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
From back in the day when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kojo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment. For you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun, the invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Level up your game with Samsung this Easter.
Call me the gadget master. Yes, this Easter is the Samsung excellent deals. Charlie, what are you waiting for? Up to 30% off. A06 starting at 1,499. Grab your Galaxy A26 for 4,199 Ghana cedis. A56 6,599. And your Galaxy Tab A9 is starting at 2,599 Ghana cedis. What more can you ask for? Okay, this is bonus. Grab your Galaxy Watch 7 and thank me later. Price has drastically dropped from 5,099 to 3,569 Ghana cedis. Don't forget, promo valid from 11th April to 4th May.
Terms and conditions apply.
Brush your teeth every day and night. Up and down and all around. Brush the feeling bright. Brush your teeth. Brush with mom and dad. Underneath and in between. Brush the germs away.
Pepsodent cavity protection.
For 10 times stronger teeth.
This advert is FDA approved.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Hello, sweetie, darling. Nimpobia, just say one. Amido. Ukwana unim, madia mepe, umfani empenye me. Entinamsi, betoti asiene biama, unkwa. Aya fabra mencheda. Shemenima. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I can all do oh watch me out, who say hey, into me, oh welcome, oh my makeup, oh no, see me, the frontier, me the same, Kwame in some media, media one plate, or two plates, the frontier, me the same.
7:35 City Breakfast Show. Few quick birthday requests coming through on the program. Good morning and happy birthday to a special office manager from all of us at Star Assurance, to Mr. Kojo Kwansa Eidu of the Dakuman branch. God's glorious blessings on your birthday, excellent health and wisdom in the many years ahead. From Kojo Kwansa Eidu, or to Kojo Kwansa Eidu. Happy birthday to Leslie Mark Hansen and Kojo Ekuban Ampia of the Audit Department of Deloitte. Also, happy birthday to Abigail Trovo of the Assurance Department. Again, belated happy birthday to Marianne Boateng of the Growth Office, all from your country managing partner, Daniel Kojo Owusu, and staff of Deloitte, to these fantastic staff members. Good morning, Golden Jubilee to Pa Kobina Dixon, aka PK of Dan Soman. Welcome to the 5th floor. His blessings shall flow in ceaseless praise and grace abound on you in years ahead. From Ascona and all residents of Ebenezer down at Dansoman. Another one coming in to Ekokumsen. City's best dancer coming in from the, I think these are people from your bus on the Heritage Caravan. Ekokumsen, City's best dancer, the one paddy of the two paddy show, with lots of accolades. You've been a blessing to me. This is coming from Phoebe. May your cup never run dry, and may it always run over. God bless you so much, Paco. Happy birthday to you. Coming in from Phoebe. We also associate ourselves to this, or with this request.
No, hard guy.
Happy birthday to you.
Solid guy.
Couple of things I want to do quickly.
Yes, please.
I want to find out if the ECG has moved into the situation at Maya Hot. So Beatrice, if you are listening to me, please let me know if ECG has come to Maya Hot. Then I got this message from somebody. It says, Ben, on the Asogli Road since yesterday, a sagging ECG cable, no action. Surprisingly, ECG's office is just 5 minutes away. I think it was caused by the rain. Please highlight this for ECG to come in. Beatrice is telling me ECG has not come yet. She's been trying to reach them since 23rd April to come and deal with a potential fire and power hazard. And ECG has not responded. Mr. Ayiku of ECG, please. I don't know if I should send you Beatrice's number or whether I should forward the pictures to you. You need to act on this. Then I got another one on ECG as well. From a listener. He sent it to my personal WhatsApp. I'm just trying to go back to it quickly. All right, so a gentleman sent me a complaint about ECG a few days ago, and he said he had been trying to get them to respond, but I can't seem to find a message. So if you are listening, please send it back to me. I have too many messages on my phone, but this is in the, I think it's the Bawe areas, those western parts of Accra. He had been trying to get ECG to respond to him, and he says he has not received any particular support. So ECG, you need to do something about these matters. Caleb, do a few announcements for me, and then I will start today with roads. I want to talk to the Road Safety Commission about what happened yesterday in the morning and in the evening. Too much traffic in town. Yesterday on my way to Ada, I used a certain road. I used the Gifford Road, and then I got onto the Mahama Road.
Right.
And then there's this sort of steep, I don't know what to call it.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't have the English. So basically, the road it goes up and comes down.
Some anti-incline.
Good. So basically, you drive over the airport hills.
Yes.
So a Kia truck loaded with cement had broken down at the edge of the slope. Oh. So basically, at the cusp of that road, and it blocked, you can say, 2/3 of the road. This caused massive amounts of traffic, basically a gridlock. And now the reason it's problematic is that somebody had started complaining about that traffic from around 8:30 on the radio.
That's true.
And I got to that place around 10:30, and it was still the same.
Nothing was done.
So in 2 hours, a city cannot organize to remove. And this is not a massive truck. This is a Kia truck, which is like medium-sized truck. All right. And I drove from 37 area to. Clearly, if some tow vehicle had been dispatched from road safety or from some place, they could have moved it. So there's just not enough responsiveness.
Yeah.
All right. And then prior to this, there was a major traffic incident near airport police station.
Yeah.
And that led to traffic all the way to Atomic Junction. And then in the evening as well, because of the rain, those going to Wager area, they couldn't get home.
Yeah,
so
it was terrible last night.
There's clearly some systemic failure around managing movement in the city. And we think that the duty bearers need to do more. So I'm going to put a few of them on the line this morning to get responses from them. So please put do some announcements.
Yes,
then
please.
find me Road Safety Commission.
We'll do that.
Find me ECG. Today they have to answer all our questions. Yesterday we asked the question. Today they have to answer.
Super. So if you're looking for a delicious snack for both kids and adults, try Bell Moo flavored milk. Bell Moo comes in chocolate and sweet strawberry flavors. It's perfect for any time of the day for your lunch boxes, after school snacks, or a quick pick me up. For bulk distribution, please call 0544 335 900 or 0544 335 800. Bell Moo is maliciously delicious. Another quality product from Bell Aqua. Experience the thrill of easy banking with Zenith Bank this season. Enjoy 24-hour access to Zenith Bank's secure digital banking channels from the comfort of your home, office, or wherever you are. Make quick and easy payments with your Zenith MasterCard, Visa card, and EasyPay GH Dual card. Or simply use the Z Mobile Ghana app, Zenith Internet Banking, or dial star 96# or manage your account, buy data bundles and airtime, make payments and more. Charlie, no stress, no long queues, just smooth, secure, and instant banking at your fingertips. Please visit our website www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0542 00011 or 0302 680 884. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Create unforgettable memories, my friends. Transform your living room and bedroom into a sanctuary with our stunning selection of sofas, couches, dressers, dining sets, center tables, and a wide range of beds and mattresses and other home soft furnishings. This season, shop and save up to 30% discounts and discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and affordability at Ashform Exclusive Furniture promo. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Call 0243 200 729 or 0244 642 481. 055 902 7907 is the number. We are available. We have showrooms in all the big malls. We have depots in Medina, Taxi Rank, Agbogba, Vineyard, Tema Casino, and all Ashform shops across the country. We have free delivery as well. Be an Ashformer now. Terms and conditions apply. Ashform, feel it, know it.
A few more birthdays. Happy birthday to Rosetta Mami Ekoa Dazi, an avid listener of the City Breakfast Show. God bless you. Happy birthday to Esther Dodua Dodu of the Diaspora Property Investment Limited. May the good Lord continue to bless you from all of us at Saji Tours, and to Prince Gamel of Unicom Pharmacy Dansoman. May you excel in all you do, coming in from Saji Tours as well. Happy birthday to Parkobina Dixon of Dansoman. I think I read this earlier on. Today we celebrate the ever energetic and dedicated Rotarian Maxwell of Rotary Club Accra Airport East. Your commitment to warmth and leadership continue to light up our Rotary family. May this new year bring you abundant blessings, success, and joy. Cheers to friendship, fellowship, and service above self. Rotarians Anita and Adobia of Rotary Club Airport City, Accra. Happy blessed birthday to Paulina Kwe, Sam of Oyibi from the Jomekus of Greta Estates. Let's talk about road traffic. Abraham Amaliba is a lawyer. He's also the DG of the National Road Safety Commission. We want to speak to him on some of the issues. So good morning, Mr. Amaliba. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning to you, Bernard, and to your listeners.
Yesterday was a nightmare for road users on the main Legon-Accra corridor. They started complaining about traffic since like 7:30. And as of like 9 a.m., it hadn't cleared. Apparently, a big truck carrying some machine got broken down near Airport First Junction, and that caused the traffic. Later that day, there was also massive traffic on the overhead at Palace. Apparently, a truck loaded with cement broke down on the place that passes over the airport hills and led to traffic all through to East Legon. I know you are in charge of road safety, but looking at what is causing these kinds of traffic, the fact that when a vehicle breaks down, we are not able to move it and it blocks the whole city, what can you say about it? And is it within your remit as Road Safety Commission to do something about this?
Well, this brings to fore the issue of towing services. You remember there was an airline that passed. It has been passed, but it's been suspended, where all owners of vehicles were to pay a certain amount upfront when they were going to register their cars or they renew their roadworthy certificate. And there was uproar in this country. So even though the law has been passed, it has been suspended, and there's a rethink of the law. Now, the rethinking is that, and that one too will go to Parliament very soon, is that all owners of vehicles must subscribe to an insurance company or a towing services. I think the earlier one was that it was going to go to one person or so, and so Ghanaians, the monopoly in it was the issue. But the new thinking is, and this is going to be in that Okada legalization LI, which will go to Parliament very soon, is that, and when the law is passed, every owner of a vehicle must subscribe to a towing service or an insurance company, so that when there's a breakdown of this nature that you have described, you just call your subscriber to come to your aid. Now, the road safety, the law would require that if you fail to do that, the road safety would come in place to tow the vehicle, but you'll be surcharged for that. So probably if this is passed, it may reduce, because for now, it appears it's all, there's no regulations governing these towing services.
So which means that there are towing companies who will be made known to us, so that in doing your vehicle registration or registration renewal of your roadworthiness, you then pay. So would there be like some sticker? Do you know the modalities? Are the details out yet, or this is still at the discussion stage?
So we would certify some towing services for road users, owners of vehicles to subscribe to. Now, when you have a breakdown, you will now place a call to your towing services to come to your aid. It is that simple.
Wonderful. And if we fail to get our towing company or insurance to move it within a specific period of time,
yeah, there's a specific period of time, yes.
The state, because the concern is that, a lot of people are irresponsible, and the bottlenecks that these things cause. So one would have thought that for certain sizes of vehicles that get broken down, maybe articulated trucks or certain kinds of vehicles, maybe there should be an automatic intervention of the state and a surcharge for the purpose of preventing what happened yesterday. Because if, for example, this new law you are proposing comes to pass, if the truck driver says, I can't reach my master, and he has not paid for towing, we could be in traffic for 2 hours. Yes, the state will tow it, but by the time the state deals with the thing, traffic is already caused. So maybe you should think about it in a way that for certain kinds of vehicles, you will proactively move in and tow immediately, so that the issue of traffic will not be occasioned by this type of problem.
We are going to ensure that the capacities of those companies that are going to be certified is top-notch. Now, the fallback is what I have said. The states would also be in readiness to ensure that after that number of hours, it's some 30, 45 minutes or so, if they don't come to tow it, then road safety would also now move in to tow it. Automatic is not like electricity. When lights go off, the towing car must move from somewhere to that place. But there will be towing cars too on certain streets, permanently. These are the highways. Those will be permanent. And at the moment, I know the road safety management services have their vehicles on some of our major roads in this country. So they will be close to the vehicles when they break down, and then they can easily come in to deal with that.
Wonderful. Previously, we spoke to you about the preponderance of billboards in Accra and how some of them were haphazardly installed on road medians. For example, Boundary Road on the East Legon side, there are lots of them, and there are many on the Ring Road as well. I believe you are responsible for road safety, and therefore you have a mandate to clear those wrongly placed billboards. What has happened since that conversation?
So I have written what I call compliance notices to all 29, I think so, municipal and district assemblies in the Greater Accra region. I've written to them. they have the responsibility. They are the ones who are licensing, what do they call them, the advertising companies, and they are the ones erecting those things. So they should remove them. Now, within 21 days, and we are counting, if they don't, we would have to enforce the law by suing them in court for the courts to come in and deal with them. I am about to hold a meeting with all the district assemblies in the Greater Accra region to bring them up to speed with the work of this Road Safety Authority. I think for a long time, this Road Safety Authority has been dormant, so they have taken things for granted. So I'm calling them to a meeting, all of them, together with civil society organizations. I did that for transport operators, I think last 3 weeks. I'm going to do that for district assemblies, and it's all geared towards these signboards that are wrongly erected. There are sizes, there are specifications, but I think the advertising companies have gone beyond those specifications. And all this will come, your media house will be invited, and we can take it from there.
Good. Is the Road Safety Commission concerned about traffic generally? I'm asking because, beyond the issue of vehicles breaking down, there's also the issue of traffic lights not functioning in certain parts of the city, and then certain traffic bottlenecks, which traffic lights don't really help. So, for example, there are places where if the police go and stand, traffic flows better because the police can anticipate the movement of the vehicles better than the traffic programming. Is free flow of traffic one of your remits, or is somebody else's job? I want to know that before I pose my next question.
Yes, we are supposed to ensure that there's safety on our roads. Anything that feeds into that is our concern.
Great. Now, are you aware of the Accra Traffic Management System?
Yes.
And who is in charge of that? And is it functional as far as you know?
Now, let me take time to do this. If it is about traffic lights, that falls within the mandate of urban roads. If it is about street lights, that falls within the mandate of Energy Commission and District Assembly. If it's about road markings in our regions, that is within the mandate of urban roads. If it's about road markings on our highways, that is for highways. If it's about road markings in our district roads, that is for feeder roads. But the Road Safety Authority is the regulator. We are like the headmaster who holds the whip and say that, why haven't you done this? So, for instance, when the Highways Authority were adamant in dealing with the Brim River issue, where I talked about the rail gas broken down and any vehicle can fall into the river, I issued a compliance notice. They've written back to me that they are sending contractors there to do it. So these are the various demarcations and the various jurisdictions of the road sector agencies.
Thank you for that clarification. So this Accra traffic management system, I am told it was under the Ministry of Roads. I'm asking if it's functional because Accra does not seem to be a city which has an intelligent traffic management system, if you get me. So are you interested in finding out the status of that system? Because I'm told there was a project paid for by the World Bank, I think some $3 million a few years ago, to build an Accra traffic management system. But we don't seem to know whether it's functioning or not and who is in charge of it.
That's a good one. I would get in touch with the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Highways Authority. We are in talking terms, so I would call him to update me on it. And if there are areas that I would, as an authority, deal with, they can be rest assured I'll deal with it.
Now, since you are the headmaster of the agencies that oversee road markings, street lights, and traffic lights, have you given any deadline to any of them? Let me give you a good example. From Teshi, there's a new road from Teshi Manet that brings you to Palace. Beautiful road. I think it's about 3 major roads, so about 6 lanes. Not a single street light, not a single road marking. Driving on it at night is a hazard. And that road is a very new road. I don't think that road is 1 year old. Obviously, somebody has not done their job. Have you written to anybody? What is the consequence for leaving a beautiful road like that with no street markings and no street lights?
So I pose that same question of why are roads completed and you don't find road markings on them? The chief executive officer of highways told me that in that case, they are not completed. It means that the contractor is yet to complete it. That there's no road that will ever be completed without road markings. He further went on to say that sometimes, because payment is not fully done, the contractor would have left that portion or that aspect of the work. So no road is completed without the road markings. It is part of the contract that you must do road markings. You have brought this to my attention. We are not everywhere, and so I would flag it, and I'll ask my people to go there and see it.
I actually want to encourage you to be very interested in this, because the excuse they are giving you, for me, doesn't hold water. Once you've opened the road for people to use, you cannot tell me that the road is not finished. You've opened the road, there's no street light, there's no street marking. You are endangering people's lives. So maybe you should be able to give them a deadline within which, when you open a road, those things must be there. Otherwise, you sanction them. I feel like there's a gap in mobility regulation in Ghana, and nobody wants to take responsibility. And based on what you've described, street lights, urban roads, traffic lights, this. So it's almost like everybody can do anything they want, and there's no central body to call anybody to order, which is why we are seeing the chaos in our city.
No, I have told you that the central body is the road safety. And in the last 2 months, I'm sure you have heard about road safety more than you have heard about it in your lifetime. We have issued compliance notices, 21 days for the district assemblies to comply with the removal of the unauthorized advertisement boards. We have issued notices. In fact, when I came in, my first compliance notice I issued was against 3M Express, the vehicle that runs very fast in the Kumasi Road. And I'm told that they have complied with the safety standards. So just draw our attention. This Citi Road, I'm going to flag it. Today, there's a management meeting, and I'll deal with it. Once you let me know, I'll deal with it.
Good.
There was a similar incident at Underbridge, where there were advertisement boards which were covering the view of drivers. When they drew my attention, immediately I got there, they removed them the next day. So we are acting.
Good. I want to encourage you to probably give the public a number where, like a hotline for traffic reporting or something like that, where people can reach your office to give you active reports on what happens, because clearly the public send us a lot of this, but I think that your office needs something like this to give you a sense of what's going on. So if you have that number, I'll be happy to announce it in subsequent programs. My last question has to do with the Okada thing. So yesterday I spoke to a duty bearer who is in one of the constituencies along the Winneba Road. I don't want to mention the particular constituency, but the person was saying that as that road gets done, they are reporting many accidents every day because cars are speeding and motorbikes are also running into people and cars. Apparently, some of the curves within the Senya Breku area, when you are going to Cape Coast from Kasua, there's a lot of winding curves. So it seems to me as if even before the legalization of Okada, with the expansion of that road, vehicles are speeding and there's a lot of accidents every day. What type of public engagement do you want to do before you fully legalize this Okada? Because the jury is still out there on whether it's a good decision or not.
So two things. There's research that has established that good rules also leads to accidents. So that is not a surprise. So what you need to do is to put in place what is called speed governance. So rumble strips, speed ramps. So you need to control the way people drive on the road. Don't let the people control the road. So it is established. New speed, new rules also leads to accident, because now the drivers think that it is their time to now engage in Formula One racing. But it is the authorities who must put in place speed governance or speed limiters that would regulate the way they drive on the road. The Okada issue is not something that people must be afraid of. The Okada issue is that as it is now, it is illegal. And so agencies such as us cannot even approach them to provide them with sensitization and driver vehicle education. When they become legal, at that point, we will unleash all our activities to ensure that they are abiding by road signs and road regulations. Before we would even ask them, before the legalization, we would ensure that this education starts. And that's why they are supposed to be in cooperatives. They are supposed to be in unions. The unions themselves would also have to provide some education. So there are different levels of education. There is driver education, there is road safety education, and the unions will also provide them with education. The Okada you see today will not be the Okada that will be in place if the law is legalized. There will be a new face.
Thank you. We hope to talk to you soon. These are running stories. But thank you for your time, Abraham Amaliba.
Thank you.
He's the CEO of the National Road Safety Commission. 8:02. We'll discuss some of the responses soon. I have an update on ECG. Charles Niaiku, who's the PR director, is informing me that he has gotten in touch with Beatrice. So the Maya hot electric pole that is burning, they will deal with it quickly. Sky, I got a message from somebody on ECG, but the message has disappeared from my phone.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I've been looking. The guy sent the message to me 2 days ago. He gave me an update this morning. I even responded to the update. I can't find the message.
So then you should type in ECG.
I don't have the guy's name
into your search.
Because I want to use that to call ECG, but I can't
type ECG.
Unless ECG have some machine that has removed the message from my phone. Because I wanted to really fire.
I'm sure it's somewhere in there. So type, ECG into the search.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And then you will raise all ECG related conversations you've had, and then go to the most recent one.
I don't know whether it was a text he sent me or WhatsApp. It's a long message, He said he had followed up and things. That I know they fine. Okay, let's do tech and social media.
Or maybe it was on some other platform. Maybe
I just have two phones.
Maybe you have through an email or.
Okay. Yes.
So go through an email.
It's probably gone to the spam then. If it's email.
No, let me check. I think Sky is right. It's probably email. Tech and social media trends is next.
It's brought to us by Telecel and First Bank Ghana. Now the all-new First mobile app from the First Bank Ghana is here. Experience the convenience of banking from your palm anywhere in the world at any time. With the new First mobile app, we have designed some exciting features available just for you: airtime and data purchase, account to Momo transfer, interbank and intra-bank transfer, account opening, bill payment to Netflix, iTunes, fingerprint and Face ID authentication for logging into the app, statement downloads in PDF, scheduled payment, biometric authentication for transactions, auto receipt generation, and so much more. Visit the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, download the First mobile app and bank with ease like never before. For more information, 0596 921 921 is the number to call. Email firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. You can also visit any of our branches nationwide. First Bank, you first.
Will tell us what's trending this morning. Thank you, Susu.
Yes, of course. So, as you know, another big night of football. So we'll talk a little bit about the football trend. So PSG Arsenal ended 1-0 for PSG. And of course, from the Ghanaian point of view, Thomas Partey was trending. You could tell that Arsenal really missed him, especially in the first half. Especially their build-up was laboured, to say the least. They really struggled to get the ball out. Ousmane Dembele is also trending. He was on a 5-game goal drought, but he returned back to form with a very good finish to give PSG the lead. Odegaard was also trending. I think Arsenal fans are starting to get fed up with his antics.
He's not as strong.
I think he's been poor for about 6 months, and he's a player I rate a lot.
And sometimes
I think they miss,
Partey.
My man,
Partey helps. Partey helps cover the weaknesses of some players.
No, Odegaard I like, but I think for the last 6 months, seriously, he's been playing poorly.
Is he tired?
No, you see, the injury he had, he had a very bad ankle injury. Early, I think that was October, November. I don't know if you remember, and he missed some.
Yeah.
I read that ankle injury can be very difficult to recover from, and he's also had a kid in the last few months. So I suspect maybe he's not sleeping or something. I don't know what it is.
It's affecting his play.
Yeah, so it's a lot
is it a done deal? Can Arsenal come back?
Oh, I mean 1-0 is very manageable. 1-0 is very
manageable. Is good though.
Oh, they are very
Charlie,
good. They are very good.
They play like they are on some. They are possessed. They are very fast.
Very fluid.
Yeah, I think it's credit to Luis Enrique.
Kavas, some guy called Kavas.
Ivica Kvaratskhelia.
The transition is so smooth.
Kavas.
But I think they can undo them when they get.
Charlie, they put the play with Sky.
I'm sure Arsenal would.
You think they have more energy than Arsenal self?
When they have a proper midfielder.
Vitinha, Kvaratskhelia. Dembele
is breaking play.
They even brought some small boy who came to almost score. What's his name?
Bakola.
Yeah, he almost scored.
You know, Bakola was their best player in the first half of the season. Then Dembele started playing well. There's a Redoué started playing well. And Kvaratskhelia came from Napoli, so he's lost his place.
The guy's younger brother.
Small boy.
Who's younger brother?
No, Mbappe's smaller brother is not appearing.
Some Bakola guy.
Small boy.
Yeah, he was at Lyon before he joined.
No, Charlie PSG. If they win, I rate them to win the Champions League.
Arsenal would.
You still Arsenal will come.
When once Partey is in the midfield, breaking
Partey
play.
after Partey.
Oh, but there'll be it would end 2-1 on.
I'm not that hopeful.
It will be a tough game, but let's see.
Let's see how it goes.
Richard Sky's good friends, the GBA are trending.
Yes.
GBA.
Yes, the GBA.
Oh, the bar, not the boxing. Okay.
Yeah. yes, the GBA.
I have a friend who's a lawyer. And then he says, I'm moving from one GBA to another because he said he's now going to the gym to do boxing.
Yeah, so Richard Sky's friends, the GBA are trending. I'm sure you talk a bit more about that later, but more Chief Justice related matters and matters arising.
Yeah.
That one we'll leave it for Sky, of course, because that's his
forte.
Yes. So Nketiah is trending, Eddie Nketiah, and I have to say this one. I think this was some sports journalists being a bit mischievous.
Okay.
I don't want to label it malicious, but I think it was a bit mischievous because they pulled up an interview from about 2-3 years ago where he said he's ready to play for the Black Stars to make it look like it's a recent interview.
Why are they doing that?
And because of that, the reaction was quite negative.
Yeah, of course, it's not playing well.
Exactly. Now. So it seems almost like your stock has dropped, and now you're coming.
Which journalist did this?
I'm not sure about the exact source. I have to go and do more research on that. But
they said there was some podcast he spoke on.
Yes, that's something. The podcast from 2-3 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I spoke to a person who was close to their family who confirmed that the podcast was a bit old. So I mean, I still would not want him to play for the Black Stars. Don't get me wrong, but I think people are being a bit unfair to him because it's on the premise that he's saying it recently. But this interview was even before he played for England. Is that old?
Is that old?
Yes. So I think they are being a bit unfair to him.
What about Callum Hudson-Odoi?
He has not said anything, but I think he's
in good form.
I'm sure he's hoping that this recent good form will get him into the England team and for the 2026 World Cup.
Crazy.
Why won't they just come and beg some more, behind the scenes?
He wants to play for England.
You see.
Don't mind
the problem is what we hear a lot is that when some of these players are interested in playing for Ghana when they are younger, there's some kind of people asking for money and all of those things. So it kind of creates an atmosphere of distrust around Ghana.
Well, we should deal with that.
They are not eager to play. In fact, Mbappe's father actually even said Cameroon. Same thing in Cameroon. I think there's an African.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, nobody is asking for anything. You should just stop that thing.
But you see,
nobody has asked.
But whatever it is, your roots are from here.
The problem is that this is a common thing we see in a lot of these foreign-born players where they claim. And the fact that they are all claiming it makes you wonder whether it's a coordinated effort or.
Iñaki is playing for Ghana. Tariq Lamptey is playing for Ghana. So there are few who are already who were born in the wherever and they are playing.
That's true, but they are saying that sometimes at youth level they are interested. And then someone's asking for money and those type of things. So the whole thing becomes like this FA is an FA I want to do with it.
If you watch the World Cup,
I think our good friend Kofi Adams should make it a crusade and deal with people within the FA or at some level who do things like that.
Hassan will watch the World Cup. He'll watch the World Cup from home. Don't worry.
That's why I said I think it's a problem with African FAs because Mbappe's father is Cameroonian. Allegedly, he wanted Mbappe to play for Cameroon when he was about 15, 16 to get him the Cameroonian system.
They were misbehaving.
And someone too came and said, you should pay. So
and now he's the world's best player.
Exactly. So those type of things tend to happen.
Help people to.
It's okay. Let's get to tech news.
You never know. Tomorrow he might come back with something that, shall I remember 20 years ago you did this for me? Why can't people just think like that?
Corruption, no.
Everybody is trying to.
It's all about the corruption.
So I'll talk about the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, aka Mahama Cares, has been launched.
Okay.
And a lot of people have been praising the initiative. Of course.
What conditions does it cover?
If
cancer,
non-communicable disease.
Yes.
So the serious ones.
And then they said the ones not covered under the National Health Health Insurance.
So is it like a fund that he's launching?
Yeah, I think it's like a support. It's supposed to like augment the National Health Insurance.
And it's private.
I have to do a bit more research.
It should be nice to get to know what it is so we can understand. Because Sky is already thinking of applying for some people.
I think
Sky, everything say you apply for. You apply for no school fees stress. You apply, but are you a headmaster?
And the last one before I get into
where we have gotten to, we
have to help people.
That's the only purpose we have left.
I know, because when your son is on a mango tree,
that's right.
You have to push it.
Challenge for eat the ripe one.
So the last one before I get into tech news: Gold Board and the Gold Board Task Force are trending.
They've caught somebody.
Yeah, they allegedly caught 3 Indian nationals who are engaged in illegal gold trading in Kumasi. So the Gold Board is trying. People are trying to see what the Gold Board is going to be up to, because it looks like this is a nice start if they are catching some illegal gold traders.
That's more of them.
Yes. So,
but they shouldn't deport them. They should jail them. Don't deport them.
So yes, of course, tech news. So Amazon and the White House are having a little, issue.
Why?
Because Amazon decided to show the cost of their tariffs on their websites.
Why shouldn't they?
Well, they are not. The White House is not happy, so they are trying to say that this kind of idea to show the tariffs is going to be, it's something the White House is not a fan of. So yes, so now it's causing. So the White House accused it of a hostile political act. Yes.
By showing the tariff, what tariff?
They are considering showing the tariff cost. Like, this is how much the item costs. Let's say it costs $50, and then you pay $30 in tariffs. The idea was to put it on their side.
So people see it.
But the White House said this is a hostile act. So,
a hostile act?
Yes.
Which is guy. See your man.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a brand and proudly partnered with its people on the path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers of the past to the lightning-fast transactions of today, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation while cherishing the legacy of our heritage and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success generation after generation. Our legacy defined the past, shaped the present, and in 2094, we will still be fostering financial security and stability for future generations. We are helping to create a future where the possibilities are infinite, the opportunities borderless, and where the world looks up to Africa. Let's awaken the giant in you. You first. First Bank.
Auntie T, abeg, fix me go betete Ghana. No garri, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, we the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you the want them. That *530# then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This April, 97.3 City FM invites you to join us for a powerful journey of faith, reflection, and connection in our seasons of prayer. As we step into this season of renewal, we bring you a month-long special encounter that will uplift your spirit and strengthen your soul. Whether you're seeking peace, guidance, or simply a deeper connection in faith, this is the perfect opportunity to come together in prayer and find inspiration in the midst of daily life issues. It's time to reflect, refuel, and reconnect. So, mark your calendars, gather your loved ones, and be part of something truly reviving. Seasons of Prayer is on 97.3 Citi FM this April. Stay tuned and let's pray together for brighter days ahead. It's from the 1st to the 30th of April 2025. Tune in to Midnight Cry from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. This is your day from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. and Prayer Encounter from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Call 0244-981112 for more information. Let the power of prayer guide you this season. Seasons of Prayer is powered by 97.3 Citi FM.
Stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You have it now. New units now. No beer baby someone some demoni in us. Didn't you say? Fair quiet, yes, in beer association Ontario. Use stay soft and new units now. Nani boss to tap from cry. A fabric softener. A year near says, choose to stay soft. No, so say, you know. FDIG a garden crack to yatu.
At Phoenix Insurance, we make the unpredictable predictable and the uncertain certain with our range of products, including motor insurance, fire insurance, engineering insurance, marine insurance, accident insurances, and all types of bonds. We have you covered. We also support you with risk management advice to enable you stay focused on your business. Take a policy with Phoenix Insurance today. We help you rise from adversity stronger and more secure. Contact us on 0302-246319 or 0302-246644. Phoenix Insurance, a delightful service experience delivered with wisdom.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So rapping all, we'll take the pain away. Rapping all,
Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and ulcer patients. This advert is FDA approved.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
And the yes I could do pepper some yes from Sika, or be out with our windy be from Sika, and it be any anyway. Keep up so pay your man, some fifth away. Baby, be a boko, it's a situation. Me preachy, but me new situation. And DCC, and what we say, or cap for the deepness of us man, who is the Kadia, what it is. Broke man, and they had a giant, and they baby. Mungo Yago, and Mong said, Kofi Wayo, and yeah, John Chain, Shaw Hoodia, Green Chain, Rap Nana Bread, your best on my name, Ubi Janet, Obi Cocaine, and Jessica. That's why you're so much Chef, what's the what?
Is City
97.7. No, Debbie, and the security is super papa Titia, Aquaka Baby, Ada Sama, oh, Debbie, Sikaya Fair, Sikaya there, and Sikayo, wardrobe, Kakudon, so kitty, Ubu Fasui, Ubu Udia, Yasiashi, my Ada Sama, Yasum Sika, Dofupa.
(21:08). So as I said yesterday, we raised a lot of issues. So today I'm trying to get duty bearers to respond to me. We've dealt with some issues on roads, but Caleb will read a few more comments on roads. But let me read another one I got on power. Good morning, Bernard. For 10 days now, residents of Amasaman Obeyeye Peace Village have been without light due to a faulty transformer. This issue has been reported to ECG Ablekuma, but we have not received any assistance. I am told there are 3 other communities experiencing similar challenges. This is really affecting us and the small business in the area. Please tell the authorities responsible to come to our aid. Then he goes on. Yesterday, I followed up with the district and regional of ECG officers, and they told me the issue of the small transformer will be fixed, but it has not yet been done. It's very frustrating. Please inform the authorities to help us. It's been 11 days. So, Mr. Iku, I think this is the message I was looking for, which I found. So, Amasaman Obeyeye Peace Village for 10 days without light.
10 days?
Yes, 10 days without light.
Oh, how?
So, I want ECG to tell me. So, don't forget, there are 3. My hot. Finally, the lady has got in touch with them. On the road to Asogli, there are some power cables sagging after the rain yesterday. ECG, take note. But ECG, I want your response to this Amasaman Obeyeye business, where a faulty transformer has not been fixed for 10 days and they have not had light for
I think they should file a petition at the PURC.
Correct.
And invite the PURC to investigate this matter and for appropriate sanctions to apply against the company or the people who would have left this thing unattended until the guy decided to bring it to our attention. I think it's completely unattended.
10 days.
Yes. In many cases, some of these people would have paid for electricity beforehand. So the prepaid system they are using, you have gone to lock up your money, so you do not have any alternative to use. And I don't think it's acceptable. If what they are claiming is actually true, then it has consequences.
Now let's do a final announcement before we respond to some of the comments we've received. Go ahead.
So we understand the unique journey of women in business, from juggling multiple responsibilities to navigating financial complexities and societal expectations. Your resilience and vision inspire us. That's why we've created the She Business account, tailored to empower visionary women leaders like you. With collateral-free loans of up to 2 million Ghana cedis, insurance coverage, discounted loan interest rates, and capacity building programs, the She Business account is the banking solution for you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or call 0302 429 150 for more information. Your story matters. ABSA.
Now let's read some quick reactions to the mobility concerns raised and our interview with Mr. Maliba. Then I'll touch on a few other things. I'll move to Kumasi and speak to Hafiz Tijani shortly on the situation with the thank you tour. But
so
here are
there's
some
one
comments
on our platform. Good morning, Kayla. Please ask Mr. Maliba if there is a road safety campaign going on currently. There seems to be daily road crashes across the board, and I know you know this because the papers report it every day. But I think this is becoming very, very important. The number of crashes that we record on our roads every day. You only need to visit a police station to see how many vehicles towed in there and others left on the roads. We understand that 648 people died as a result of abandoned trucks on roads. And that's an aside. And there are so many other fatalities we are recording every other time as a result of road crashes. So I think it's become an imperative. Good morning, Bernard and team. Please ask Mr. Maliba why the MTTD does not start work at 6 a.m. because that is when the traffic starts, and the only way to prevent gridlock is by starting traffic regulation early. TK send that through. Good morning, Bernard and team. Please, could you kindly ask about the worrying trend of people destroying the barricades in road medians, allowing pedestrians to cross busy roads? All the barricades at the Medina Zongo junction have been destroyed, and recently the one at Spana also has been destroyed. I witnessed a Salem vehicle knock someone down at Spana last week. Wow. Do we need a towing insurance again? Why don't road safety authorities toll cars and charge owners so it's a pay-per-use service? My fear is companies collecting money but not providing services. Kwesi from Kumasi send that through. Bernard, please ask the DG what will happen to the huge trucks that come in and go to our neighboring countries who do not have the sea at their end. Will they also insure or subscribe to institutions here in that regard? Okay, he's talking about land-linked countries and trucks that use Ghana to such places and whether or not they'll be insured. The towing companies should be assigned specific districts or areas so that we all pay a certain amount during roadworthy renewal to ensure effective towing. I can't see how insurance companies will have towing car through the country. The law in the form he's talking about will not solve the problem. Eric from Dansuman sent that through. Good morning, Bernard. Please ask about the road markings. It should be the first issue, and there are other comments as well. Beku, please help with this. So, do we really have a system in place? There should be a system that would identify problems and solve them, not only 9-day wonders. All we are good at is PR, and to say we would look at it. Why didn't we look at it? Francis sent that from Adenta, is not impressed at all. Hello, Aloski. Please ask Mr. Maliba about hawkers who have taken over pavements and now move onto the street or the road itself. Has the DG seen how these Okada operators have taken over bus stops and make it impossible for cars to stop? And we are looking to regulate them. Hello, Bernard. Good morning. I humbly suggest the National Road Safety Authority create a dashboard where citizens can make complaints with pictures and videos to help bring some of these road safety issues to their attention.
Okay,
for immediate
let me just get two comments from my two panelists before. So Caleb, Mr. Maliba paints a very interesting picture that on the issues I raise, traffic lights, street lights, road markings, there are about 3 different agencies responsible. Traffic lights, urban roads; street lights, Energy Commission; road markings, urban roads or highways, depending on who is in charge. But he says he believes that the Road Safety Commission has a hand in all, and therefore he can be the headmaster of the agencies. Now, I don't want to do a legal discussion, but from a political perspective, he's putting himself out there to say, look, because nobody is held accountable for these things, it keeps happening. So I asked the question about the Manette Road to Palace. The road is done, people are speeding, no street light, no road markings. He says he's going to write to them to make sure that it is done. Sometimes they give explanation. Can the Road Safety Commission become that enforcer of mobility and common sense in Accra? Let me take your angle now. Take your angle. What do you think? Listening to him, is he arrogating himself? Is he interpreting his mandate correctly?
I think so.
You think so?
And I respect his position on the matter, especially when he's serving as in essence, the coordinator, facilitating safety on our roads, because his job is to ensure safety by working with the various institutions that have a role to play one way or the other in ensuring safety on the road. So the police, for instance, what is their role? The MTTD has a specific mandate to ensure that traffic flow on the roads is correct. People who do not have the requisite documents to be driving on the roads do not go onto the roads. The Energy Ministry and the Commission, for that matter, anytime you will buy electricity, if you check the bill clearly, you would have noticed that you are paying for, what do you call it? what's the name of the light?
Street lights.
Street lights. You understand? You pay for that. And in many parts of the national capital, we don't see the lights work. So someone has got to hold them accountable, or at least raise the issue. So that when he goes before the president and he's being audited, hey, what have you done over the last 6 months since your appointment? He will say that, look, he did A, B, C, D, push back on A, B, and C, and for some reason, someone is not acting. So he should be on their case. And then also the urban roads. You can't have a national capital or the major roads we have in this space not have proper markings. If it is a question of lack of budgetary allocation, you should say so, because we do know that in the budget every year, allocations are made for these institutions to continue to run. But for some reason, people go and sleep, they don't work on the road, and it is like nobody is in charge of the space.
I think his point was that when the people do the road, the marking is the last stage. And because people are in a haste to use the road, they open the road. So you are using the road and they've not finished. You get it? So are we going to say, until they do the street marking, they open the road? Are we going to say, make sure you do the street marking immediately after you do the road, so that there's no space between finishing and marking?
You see, that is just one side of the issue.
Okay.
You do know that very recently we have done asphalting of many of the roads in the national capital. Many of these roads have not been, marked. So the point is that, yes, in some cases they open the roads before even thinking of how to put the infrastructure that supports the road to work properly. But the fact also remains that there are many instances where the markings go off, and for some reason nobody is getting to his job to ensure that the thing is done. I think Mr. Maliba is starting properly. If he has the necessary support from the supervising ministry or ministries and the presidency itself, from the chief of staff up to the president himself and the vice president, I think he will do great things. Because, Bernard, for far too long we have allowed too many people to die on the roads. And there's lack of accountability. Drivers are doing anything they can on the road without fearing that there should be consequences. And the people who are put in charge to ensure that there are consequences are also not doing their part. So, Mr. Maliba, kudos to you.
You think he is not taking too much? Because I asked him a question. I asked him who should be held responsible for mobility problems. And he says, to the extent that Road Safety Commission is in charge of what happens on the roads, he will take that. So if there's 3 days of gridlock in Accra, we can say road safety is not doing his work. You agree that he's taking what he's saying he can do, he actually has the power to do it?
I think he has the moral responsibility to ensure it's done, and that's where it ends.
Okay.
He has the moral responsibility to ensure it's done, because you see, there are budget issues here. Okay, so it's like SIGA, where SIGA is placed, and the state-owned enterprises. In their organograms, you don't see SIGA anywhere. Which means that legally they don't quote and unquote report to SIGA. Okay, but in all national endeavors, you have a hub and spoke relationship that will let the wheel move. So I see the connection between Amaliba's organization and the other sectors, including the law enforcement agency, including the police. Okay, because he won't get much done if the police is not aligned. And the police should not see themselves as we are doing our own thing and you are doing your own thing. The intersectorial, integrated approach to solving the problem is what we are looking. And for you call it commission. I don't know what legally that means.
It's now Road Safety Authority.
Authority, okay. Authority.
So now you have authority.
Yeah, whatever that means, we should look at it as an opportunity. And I think that we have the right leader at this time in Amaliba to ensure that this thing is done. Because hitherto, Road Safety Authority was not
They were not frontal. They were not. They were shying away from.
They were involved in their promotion, education, but driving the whole space. As for me, I have not seen that before. So I think that he needs the attention of the top brass of government to ensure that what has to be done to ensure safety on our roads.
Which means that if you want to promote a behavioral change driving campaign, I know you like social
marketing.
As for you, that's your area. So you think road safety should spear? Because you know, yesterday I met one of the people who was saying that the Cape Coast Road they are doing now.
Yeah.
When you get from Kasua to Winneba, because of the mini curves, people are speeding as the road expands, and the motorbikes are crashing into cars. And the person was telling me that almost every day there's a major knockdown in the person's constituency. Right. So again, there has to be some behavioral issues around how to drive, and Road Safety Commission may need to invest in some behavioral change campaign.
We need to actually revamp the authority itself.
Okay.
And what that means is we now have to bring on board different disciplines that will help them execute their mandate. Because, for instance, the Kaswa Winneba Highway, I am not so sure whether at this point Road Safety Authority is involved in any way. Okay? Shouldn't there be a situation where you would need a certain kind of clearance, safety clearance from Road Safety Authority? You know, so what I'm saying is that we need to ride along with him to make sure that this Road Safety Authority now takes its right place in the whole road safety issue in this country, because we haven't seen it this way before. And I think he's doing a wonderful job.
97.3 Citi FM. We are following up on some matters we raised yesterday. We hope the traffic situation is better today. Caleb, finally, before we move to another topic, yesterday's rains exposed a familiar problem. The wager to Kasua Highway had some challenges. Can you describe what you saw? So
there's a video on our website, on our Facebook page. When people go there, they will see it. It had rained in the evening, and road users were at the bus stop. The place was flooded. They were struggling to get vehicles, and the vehicles they were struggling to get buses to join to get home, and then the buses were also having a difficult time driving through.
Is it the same place that gets where like the silt from the hill comes down and then it blocks?
So towards that end there was massive flooding. So the rains had run onto the road. It had slowed down the traffic for those that were driving, and particularly for the pedestrians now who were trying to find a car to board. It was a very, very hard time for them. So imagine just being stuck in the rain. This is the video I'm talking about. So Old Wager is the specific place I'm talking about. And the caption says tensions rise at Old Wager as frustrated drivers and pedestrians grapple with worsening gridlock. So the rain's really running on the road because the drains possibly choked, so the running water spills onto the road, and now pedestrians walking through rainwater at night. Sometimes these scrub boys pick the metallic rail that is used to fix the drains that connect the road, so it gets really risky both for drivers, because your car could run into it, or for those who are now walking through it. And sometimes, as we have heard, some electricity poles have had their cables fall and all those things. So in the unfortunate situation where some of these cables fall in the rainwater, the worst could happen.
See, the reality is that on this particular stretch, this thing happens a lot, especially when it rains. Because I go to that side of town every now and then, sometimes to do court duties here and there. And sometimes you have to park your vehicle in order to avoid any, problem. You remember that sometime during the life of the previous administration, they had to send national security there to actually desilt, some of the drains that had been choked as a result of consistent erosion from the thought. And many of these things are also as a result of how people built on the hill.
Correct.
You understand? So it rains and then it takes the sand with it.
Yes.
And then straight into the drains.
It's around the tuba area.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. So I think there has to be some serious enforcement of the laws around how we're built in that enclave, and then also it would require the engineers to do some re-engineering.
Charlie.
Because the fact that some work was done there in the last administration, and it would seem that the problem hasn't been decisively dealt with, then we need to find a more, useful solution to the problem.
Now we're still on the City Breakfast Show, 8:40. I want to do a quick detour into power situation, then I'll come back to this. So I'm putting a lot of things together. Yesterday I heard the Minister for Energy appeal to Ghanaians to bear with him as the new tariffs are applied from tomorrow. And he said a couple of things. He said the Ghana now has a net demand supply situation. So he says we are generating as much as we need, so we need more generation. He also said we cannot get a doomsday timetable because the power outages are happening at different places at different times, and it happens, and then they get to know and they deal with it. So that's one issue. Now the other problem is that there are many challenges with local areas that are making people frustrated. So 3 days ago when it rained, some places had power outages because some cables had fallen or whatever. People didn't have power. It took a while for ECG to repair this. Then this past 3 days, people have been sending us messages about, my transformer has blown. When I call ECG, they don't respond. Something is burning. So the customer service problems of ECG is sort of worsening people's power experience, and at the same time you want to increase power. In fact, last week some people kept sending me a message that I should discuss doomsday because they believe there's doomsday. So on Friday we spoke about it, and we got calls from everywhere that their power goes off, it comes back also. So I think we need some answers from the power distribution company in terms of what the situation is with why lights go off in specific places, and whether they need to also beef up their customer service response system.
True.
Because something happened on 23rd April. As of this morning, before this lady was able to get in touch with ECG to finally go and deal with the matter. And as I speak to you, somebody says he's been trying to deal with ECG for the past 10 days on a transformer situation. You get it? So and I'm bringing all these things because there's also a bigger conversation about the government's almost uncertainty in privatizing ECG. If you recall, when President Mahama won the election, a few people visited his office. Within that week, there was a discussion about power. There was a committee he met, which had the current minister, and then the whole indication was that ECG would be privatized. Now, I am worried a bit about that because, and let me explain myself, then you can come. This is even before the man has taken office. Okay, so I get the impression that some people who have an interest in privatizing ECG basically jump-started the conversation, because if you come into office, you are supposed to assess the situation. Do you understand me? And then make a decision for yourself. But if you like, go on citynewsroom.com and Google ECG Mahama from December 7, December 8, December 9, December 10. He said ECG will be privatized. Jinapo, who was not yet minister, said ECG will be privatized. And all of this was said after some meetings were held. So I have the view that maybe some of these challenges are being, I don't want to say engineered, but there's a part of me that believes that it's like, okay. And in fact, 2 days ago, the IMF guy who's been coming to Ghana, Rude, he said, ECG is the weakest link in Ghana's financial sector. Atufosin said the same thing. Now, look, I'm not here to defend
the power sector.
The power sector. No, but there were two. So they said power sector is the risk to our economic thing, and then ECG is the weakest link in the power sector. Now, I am not here to defend inefficiency, but I believe that there has to be a more thorough discussion about this privatization business. It seems hurried, in my view, and it seems orchestrated with the greatest of respect. Because why should we be making statements about privatizing ECG even before ministers are sworn in?
Are you sure it's not?
And then a committee was put in place to go and come up with the modalities. Because Sky, ECG has a bad name, but privatization may not be the solution. Do you know what I'm going here? So I feel like we need to have a more proper discussion. The committee should come and tell us, this is the problem we saw. This is why we believe only privatization can solve it. Do you see where I'm coming? It seems some way.
It would seem
Seems
that
some way.
the question of privatization or the role of the private sector in power distribution is one that has been prompted to a large extent by external sources. Because if you remember...
Thank you very much.
What did he say?
External influence.
Yes.
That's what I was hinting
You
at.
finish.
But you have said it with more.
You
also believe that?
No, it's a fact.
Okay. Okay, but Sky, you continue. Sky, please,
Yeah,
Sky.
so you see, so you saw the embarrassment that the previous administration suffered, for instance, when what's the name of that company? It was a PDS deal. Became a whole scandal that the government couldn't eventually deal with. So eventually they had to abrogate the transaction and had to move on, which also meant that at some point the Americans were not, for instance, happy with us. So what ordinarily should have been part of an allocation they were ready to make to us in terms of financial support, so that we can sort out some of the problems within the energy sector, the power distribution sector, they withheld that. And from what we hear, the NDC now in office wants to, as much as possible, unlock that. And also saw an opportunity to allow persons who are, vested in the system or invested in the system in one way or the other to also have a share of the cake. So don't be surprised if we have PDS 2.0.
Wait, is the compact still available? Because the PDS was based on the Obama compact on power sector, which we saw its benefits.
Yeah.
And there was a process for which that should have happened, and it got messed up. Are you suggesting that these external influences could also engineer some sort of, because what the compact does is that it gives you money to do some investment, and then it sort of justifies the private ownership. Do you foresee any type of arrangement like this, or this is purely...
The Americans withheld some of the allocations to us. In fact, if you go on the net right now, you Google that, you notice that the Americans suspended further work on further releases to us because they had felt that there were certain obligations we could not live up to under the compact. And therefore, they said, no way, we are not going to make further releases to you.
Yes.
The NDC campaigned on that vigorously around the country. And in fact,
this was the first time of Akufo-Addo, right?
Yeah, that's right. They were very critical of the government, their spokesperson in parliament, and they made it clear that when they came, they were going to work very hard to unlock what was left.
But if that is true, then Samens, you can't say that it's just external, because it means that NDC has been consistent that they believe the compact should have gone a certain way and the privatization should have happened anyway. So they were not against PDS. They were not against privatization. They were against the way it was done, right?
They were against the PDS in S4.
The way it was done.
Exactly.
But not against the idea of private sector participation.
That was open for discussion.
Which is what I'm saying now. So which means that the party...
I think you are mixing a few things together.
Help me here.
You just used the phrase private sector participation.
Yes.
And indeed, ECG in its present form, within that space, has a lot of private sector participation.
Okay.
So that's no question. We are talking about the ownership of ECG. That's where we part company. That you can't wake up without solving the emerging problems of ECG, jump into a conclusion that only the selling of ECG to a private company will solve your problem. That's an illusion. You can't talk like that.
They are jumping too quickly.
They're jumping too quickly. And I'll tell you why. You see, you talked about Doomsor timetable. Now, the emergence of Doomsor timetable was to solve a problem of transmission. Sorry.
Generation.
Sorry. Generation. Yes. Okay. Now we've gone past the generation problem largely. We are at the transmission problem. And the emerging problems are as a result of technical problems and the use of obsolete equipment, which you can't predetermine. So if there's no Doomsor timetable, fair enough. But the speed with which we attend to the emerging problems is of the essence. Now, how are we going to do that? You have those in the supply of cables. And I'm talking about large cables and electrical wiring and all these things, which are inputs to the job that ECG does. Local content. Let's go and evaluate the participation of the local companies in this subsector of ECG's operation. You have Nexans cable metal, you have railway cables, you have tropical cable and conductors. These are the bigger companies. Go and check how much the government owes them.
Too much money.
Go and check how much we owe them. And then we go and buy containers of this same products from external markets, put jobs on their tables, and then when we finish, we say to ourselves that before the thing works, we have to privatize the ECG. Are we okay?
Hold on. Was it not ECG who went to buy those things?
No, I'm coming. But the policy direction is what they will follow. Okay. What I'm saying is that you have some of these are companies, Ghanaian companies owned by Ghanaians, producing in Ghana, employing Ghanaians. We have tied their feet and tied their hands, and we're asking them to run. How does that happen? And then we also tell ourselves that no, we have a big problem. In order for us to solve the problem, we should sell ECG. You want to sell ECG when you have not solved this supply problem of cables? Let's move from cables. Go, you see meters and you see transformers. You have local manufacturers of meters and transformers. You have companies like Alpha TND Limited, you have West Trafo, you have Ghana Electrometer. All these companies are indigenous companies. Go and see how much money we owe them.
A lot.
And then we were not thinking about empowering local industries. We are thinking about now those of you in banking and finance, think about this thing. ECG is one of the most debt-ridden companies we have in Ghana. And yet, politicians tell us that it's the most attractive company that private sector people would want. Check.
Let's take it one by one. You're saying that if the financial situation of ECG is that bad, it should not be something that
the low-hanging fruit for
private people should be eager
exactly
to take. Okay, let me.
And before I go on, and also know that the ECG suppliers themselves, they have bent their fingers with all the local banks. I'm telling you, because they take money, they can pay back. Because ECG will not pay. And you think that when you bring a company from America or something, they will come with their own bank?
When you say that there's already private sector involvement, you need to break it down because
I just did.
In the supply.
Yes.
Okay. You see, what I saw of the terms of reference was for the committee to look into how private sector can participate in the value chain and also in the running of the company. Now, so you are talking about supply of goods can be done by a private company.
No, they are being
done already.
Already.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then it means that the mandate of the committee is beyond that. It's to go and look at ownership, equity, management. Do you understand me?
And I'm saying that about 80% of ECG's problems are financial and within the supply chain space.
So you don't see the point. So is it not a management problem?
It can be a management problem, I agree, but it's also policy direction problem.
But the policymaker is blaming the implementing company for inefficiency. So, for example, yesterday, the minister spoke about ECG running deficit of 1 billion cedis every month. Let me read that story for you. Actually, this is April 3, before yesterday. So, and again, I'm putting two and two together. The rhetoric of the minister suggests, so let me read it. Ghana's power distribution sector incurs a monthly deficit of over 1 billion cedis, a situation that is straining the entire power value chain and necessitating urgent reforms. Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Junapo, has stressed the need for private sector participation to enhance efficiency and financial stability of ECG. Let me finish. Quote, today as we speak to you, on a monthly basis, we incur a deficit of or a shortfall of more than 1 billion cedis from the distribution sector. And this has a cascading effect on the rest of the power sector players.
Why?
Clearly, something must be done, he said.
Why?
He explained that the government is committed to reforming the sector through PSP, improving revenue collection, and increasing of our efficiency. So the suggestion is that the management of the company is not making it operationally efficient and financially sustainable.
What are the key losses that ECG records?
They give us a breakdown in the KPMG report. So there's the technical, there's the commercial, and then they put that together, quite a large one.
So when it's technical, it means that you are using...
So there's engineering losses. So the power is unaccounted for, and then the money is unaccounted for.
And then people are stealing the power.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So what would a management that is alive to its responsibilities do about that? First, you invest in overhauling the entire system to ensure that if X amount of power is produced, at least something close to 80% or so is properly accounted for, right? But what have we seen? We were told that containers were imported into this country.
Yeah.
Some of those containers were supposed to go into what? Overhauling the system. For some reason, we can't trace them. That's one problem.
They couldn't clear the containers first, and then it got disappeared.
I mean, how can GPHA is owned by the government?
Yes.
We, the people of Ghana, own it. Right?
There's also MPS.
Exactly.
They own a lot of it. You don't own that much. Actually, you don't own that much.
No, to a large extent. And in fact, they work with electricity there. So what stops the management from thinking outside the box and saying that, okay, well, we will owe you X amount in import duty, so we can offset that. Sometimes we do that here a lot, right? Against whatever taxes that we are liable for. So that you don't allow the containers to sit there at the port, incur demurrage, and gives people the opportunity to sell it off just to make some money out of it. So that is one way of...
Could this have happened if the management of the company were private? The kind of things you just described in the cable sector and the kind of things you just described at the port. If a private person were running ECG, would this...
The fact that yes and no.
Yeah.
Explain.
It could be... is it the case that every government organization that has been privatized has suddenly become profitable? And we know the answer. The answer is no. But what I'm saying is that you can't jump... I'm not against privatization. I'm saying that the due diligence, operational due diligence we have to do to even get there, we have not touched it.
To be fair, the committee has presented a report, but it has not been made public.
The report is to the minister, not us.
Yeah,
we are commenting based on what we know.
What is in the public?
I'm saying that what I'm saying is that the question you are asking is a legitimate question. The answer to that question has to be in the report.
But we need to know.
Hold on. So the purpose for the program is for the gap in that jam to be filled. So they have to put the report out.
Bernard,
so that we can...
Anything that comes out of the report that concludes that we need to sell ECG is fraudulent.
Even no. I won't take that. I think what you need to say is that you want to see how the committee arrive at its conclusions.
But that one we have no choice.
No, if the committee, if the way they are, because you've built a point, if the way they arrive at that conclusion is acceptable, then you can agree with the conclusion.
I get the academic logic.
No, it's not academic.
No. I'm saying academic, not in book. I'm just saying that the logic of what you're saying. But I'm also saying that based on what I know, and I'm not talking about my opinion. I'm talking based on what I know. I am telling you that if we don't resolve the supply chain, the private participation issues in the supply chain, and I repeat, private participation within the supply chain, if we don't resolve that and we stick to this approach of Sky was making a point. Okay, how do we sustain the operations of ECG first and foremost without revenue generation? Now, how do you generate revenue if your billing and your collection is defective? Billing and you can have the biggest capacity. If your billing and collection is defective, you are crippled. Now, how come even in the use of meters, we have different standards in use? And that's where I come with the policy direction. Why can't you have companies in Ghana producing meters? You have Ghana Standards Authority sitting here regulated. You mean that we cannot standardize metering, and then we buy some from Hong Kong? We buy this. This is our man, so let him also supply some, and then we bring a thing, and there's no synchronization.
To be fair, in response to that, when you read what I just read, Jinapo explained that the government is committed to reforming the sector through PSP, improving revenue collection, which you just mentioned.
That's what they always read.
And increasing of our efficiency. No, hold on. You see, we are taking it one by one. If privatization, if privatization means that bringing a solution that synchronizes the metering and makes revenue collection more efficient, that does not necessarily have to mean that overall management of the company
what
is
was the
sold.
reason for bringing PDS?
No, let's not go there. We're talking about where we are now. You see, he's making a point. Okay. You spoke about revenue and losses, and he also spoke about the metering and the confusion there.
Yeah. Billing and collection.
Good. So billing. Now my point is that they keep using the word PSP. So if they get a private sector participant whose job it is to say, okay, we will have a metering system or a billing system that can synchronize all the meters. Or we will have a solution where the need for different types of meters is reduced.
Hold on right there. Let me ask this question before you continue. Now, if you get that private sector participant, how are you sure that he is going to purchase meters from local manufacturers?
You can use policy direction to guide that.
So why aren't you using the policy direction now? While you are in control, you are buying meters from queer place in China.
Is there local capacity for meters?
Local producers.
No, let's don't have
that. I can't answer that question, but we have to make sure that we optimize what we have locally, which I know for a fact that we haven't done.
You mentioned that you mentioned that
something was.
You said you mentioned that in the cabling. I can't argue with you because you've mentioned the companies. So Nexans and all these guys are there. So there's no sense in going to procure so much cables and wires from abroad when the companies are here to do it. Nobody can argue with that. But on the metering and the billing,
well, I mentioned the companies too.
On the metering,
local companies that produce
are they able to?
They are good quality, and in fact, some of them are even exporting to other countries.
The issue is that if you pay them on time,
they will do it.
Then they will be in a position to scale up.
So your point is that if you haven't exhausted,
some of these companies have not been paid in some cases for 5 years.
So if you haven't
6
exhausted,
years, 7 years.
if you haven't exhausted the local, okay. The next question: How do we know that the local meters are better?
They are standards.
Okay.
They are industry standards.
Good.
And Bernard, guess what? If you like, I will dare you, go and check the most frequently defective meters and check where they are coming from.
There was a group of meters that for some time had a problem. I think they had, I won't mention the name on air, and they tried to phase it out. I used to have some. There was a problem with that, was like 6 years ago.
Well, check.
So let me come back to
meters,
point.
The firmware in the meters, you can't touch it in Ghana unless you travel and bring somebody to come and fix it. Are we okay? When we have IT companies all over the place.
So let me go back to the two of you. So the two of you are saying that first, private sector participation is a big expression. There are already private sector participation in ECG
heavily
in the supply chain.
Yes.
So that should not be thrown away. Number two, whatever the government wants to do with ECG by way of private sector participation, if it means selling or handing over the assets and liabilities of ECG to a private company which is foreign, willy-nilly, that's the word Sky uses, you disagree. You are prepared to consider private sector participation if it has to do with billing and metering to the extent that locals are prioritized. I'm trying to summarize your argument. That's number three. But all of this you've said with the caveat that you are still willing to read the full report of the committee, which has not been made public. Which I think for public policy purposes, they should not treat like the MPP report. They have to make it. Now I want you to listen to two things. The technical committee tasked with advising the government on private sector participation, and this is 2nd April, of the company, submitted this report to the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Jenapo, on the 2nd of April. The report outlines 3 key recommendations: entity concession, multiple lease, and service franchise, which the committee believes will help address challenges facing the ECG. Committee Chairman Jabesh Misata discussed these proposals during an engagement with the minister. After that, you will hear Minister Jenapo reiterating that ECG will not be sold in that conference. So I want you to hear the two, then we proceed. So this is Jabesh Misata speaking when he gave the report to the minister.
9 major challenges that are impeding the performance of distribution utilities in the country. And these 9 have been put in 4 groups. The first group has to do with the administrative setup of ECG especially. And we see problems with governance, we see problems with management malaise. And then we also see procurement problems. This is not because of what has come up in the past week, but we had identified it previously. Apart from these, then there are also operational issues that are impeding the performance of this distribution function. And these include the high losses, both in terms of commercial and collection, and high losses in terms of technical and unaccounted energy. Then lastly, there's widespread customer dissatisfaction with the services they are receiving from the distribution utilities. Overall, we looked about eight models of private sector participation, and we settled on 3 to that summarize what the picture is. And we have looked at this in detail. There's one that we call, the first one, option A, that we call the entity concession, where the whole distribution business would be given out to a private concession as one whole concession. Then there's option B, which we are calling the multiple lease, in which case the distribution across the country will be divided into several parts, and each of them awarded to probably a different private sector participator to operate and to invest in. Then there's a third option, which we call option C, the service franchise, in which case the private sector will operate the network, the low voltage network from the distribution transformer to deliver services to the homes.
Exercise is not the end of the road. In fact, this is the beginning. Because we thought that before we undertake or pursue this step, we needed to consult broadly. And so this is exactly what the committee has done. And as you just heard from the chairman, they've given us 3 options. Option 1, option 2, option 3. And in all the 3 options, it's quite clear that none of them talks about outright sale of ECG and its assets. And so I just thought that I should make it clear so that nobody goes to misquote us or misrepresent us to say that the committee has recommended that ECG be sold. In all the suggestions and the options, it's quite obvious that ECG will still remain the asset owner. And then, depending on which one we choose, we'll make progress. The next step from here will be to do a position paper to cabinet for the entire government to consider and approve the option that we will be pursuing, following which we would establish a project implementation committee. We would also have to get a transaction advisor, make this process as transparent and open as possible, with emphasis on local content and participation. On a monthly basis, we incur a deficit or a shortfall of more than 1 billion cedis from the distribution sector, and that has a cascading effect on the rest of the power sector players. And so clearly, something must be done.
So that was Minister Jinapo speaking after receiving the report. This is a month ago. So I believe the position paper is being put together for cabinet. And I think this is the time for the public to also be involved, because the committee has done their job, their technical committee, 3 proposals. There has to be rigorous policy analysis.
And ventilation of
it should not just be workers saying we don't agree and people saying we agree. It should be, I think, entity concession, multiple lease, and service franchise. Those 3 options.
What do those mean?
I'm coming. You are a lawyer. You should tell me. I shouldn't be. You should be telling me. I shouldn't be telling you. So what I'm saying is that there has to be a vigorous discussion and understanding of these matters. For which, because it shouldn't just be people have sat in some room, done a report, given it to a minister, they've got a position paper, send it to cabinet, cabinet approves. That defeats public policy. ECG. Now, why am I doing this? This morning at 12:22 a.m., somebody sending me a complaint about ECG. My phone is always full of ECG complaints. ECG is a national company that has many touch points. A discussion on its future should not just be done by a technical committee. We do know that there are people who are trained to do this, but we also know that there are interests who have their own agenda. And therefore, there must be a reasoned public discourse on the issue. So we welcome the minister. Anytime he wants to come and talk about it, we are here. We welcome the committee members. Anytime they want to do an interview, we are here. But we are going to very carefully scrutinize the various options to make sure that the right thing for the greater good is done for the public based on the knowledge we have. So I want to wrap up here by asking Caleb to read a few comments on this before I move to my next issue. I'm going to do thank you, Tor stroke.
Charlie, quick one. We are told the reports are that Kennedy has...
Yes, so my reporter is there. So I'm going to go to Hafiz to speak after the stabbing of the guy. So there was a stabbing issue. So I went shortly, but I need to take a break.
Yeah.
So maybe let's take the break rather. Let's take the break.
We'll take the comment before the break.
Okay, comments before the break.
Very quick one. Good morning, Bernard and team. I live at Pukwasi Maira, and we also have issues with our transformer. Due to the faulty transformer, we experience high and low voltages every day, especially after 6 p.m. It's as if we are living in a disco. We have been in this country where irregular power fluctuation has caused our homes to burn. I have reported this at ECG, but there is no action. They are waiting until something serious happens. Please ask them what it takes to replace a transformer. I worked with ECG for a while. I know ECG very well. Their largest wahala is one directly linked to integrity. The theft at all levels is staggering. If you knew the number of homes, businesses, churches, etc. using power for free and stealing, you would drop dead in an instance. EO in Shai Hill sender through. We live in a country where reporting my issue of 4-hour power outage seems very silly because people are having a whole week with no lights. We are so back in development. When power will Africa rise? Will it happen? You didn't add your name. Bernard, what discussions again about privatization of ECG do you want to hear? Privatize it immediately. Haba. Cyril from Kaswa send that through. And there's another one linked to telco.
We'll take a short break. We'll come back to deal with. And by the way, the ECG discussion is not just for today. We have many days. We have time. So we are not going anywhere by the grace of God. When we come back, Ashanti region, we are hearing that there's a new development in the thank you tour situation. We'll bring that to you when we come back. Stay with us.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you ready to dance the night away? The gentleman himself, Abrantia Amachi Dede, is coming live to light up the stage at Corridor Gardens Restaurant and Bar on Friday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Get ready for timeless high life hits, electric performances, and a night filled with good vibes, good music, and even better memories. Into Sawano Erbabe Groove, Erbabe sing-along, another Erbana Abe soak up the legend in action. This is the show you don't want to miss. Tickets are flying fast. Regulars going for 500 Ghana cedis, VIP 700 Ghana cedis. Dial *713 *33 *60 hash to grab yours now. Call or WhatsApp 0257 700 037 or 0536 221 606. Amachi Dede Live. One night, one legend, one unforgettable experience.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770 hash and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
It's heydays at the Junction Mall, and it's bigger, better, unmissable. From now until May 4th, the Junction Mall is a place to be for everything, from the hottest gadgets and appliances to fashion, food, and fun, all at up to 70% off. Shop and win amazing prizes. There'll be cultural displays, live band performances, Junction aerobics for the fit and fun, and kids paradise with face painting, boat rides, bumper cars, and so much much more. Bring the family, grab your squad, and do not miss a single moment. It's not just shopping, it's heydays at the Junction Mall, and it's bigger and better than ever before. Follow us at the Junction Mall GH on Facebook and Instagram, or WhatsApp us on 0540-221-774 for more details. The Junction Mall. Join, explore, shop, enjoy.
Dear Newsroom, sir. Stay soft concentrate fabric softener. I was such it move. Just send it this way. You might now watch it. Newsroom, it's now watch it. No, be a baby, someone some demoni in us. Dear Newsroom, say. Fair quiet, yes, in Biara Association Ontario. Use Stay Soft and Newsroom, it's now watch it. Nani boss to tap from cry. A fabric softener. Near say, sir. Choose to Stay Soft. No, so say, no. FDIT, a dreading crack to yet.
Ready to advance your career? IS Evolutions Consult offers world-class training. Join our certified information systems auditor training in Accra from 28th April to 2nd May. In Dubai, elevate your skills with exclusive training, managing fraud in a digitalized world from 9th to 13th June. Fraud and forensic auditing, 23rd to 27th June. Advanced analytics with Arbitus, 7th to 11th July. Value for money audit, 18th to 22nd August. Call us on 02-4768-1899 or send us an email at info@isevolutionsconsult.com. IS Evolutions Consult, your partner for success.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
That's right. Reality check, you know what I mean? Street lights, innit? Dookie, Scorpion, yeah. When I was young, I used to dream of being rich, having a lot of houses and cars, couldn't know which one was which, and finding me a chick and getting hitched, living the fairy tale life, perfect without a glitch. You think that this will bring me happiness? If at the end of every rainbow there was a treasure chest, sometimes having more is really less. Take a look inside yourself, you realize you're really blessed. No matter how you're sad and blue, there's always someone who has it worse than you. Sometimes you gotta pay your dues, so don't worry, just push on through. Keeping it real. Gotta big up all my peoples who be working on the future, though they know they gotta struggle. Keeping it real. To all my homies working on the 9 to 5 and doing right to keep themselves up out of trouble. Keeping it real. Although sometimes I know it seems impossible, there ain't no need in drowning in your sorrow. Keeping it real. If things are as bad as they can be, you could be sure there'll be a brighter tomorrow. I never got to have myself the house, the mansion, and the Benz. I'm not the kind of brother who be making mad ends. I got myself a girl, but we be kicking it as friends. It's not enough, well maybe that depends. Again, not everything you want is everything you really need. The standard of society is motivated by greed. Are you prepared to follow? Tell me, you prepared to lead. So persevere and you'll succeed. Keeping it real. Gotta dig up all my people who be working on the future, though they know they gotta struggle.
18 minutes past 9. So this morning we have 3 issues. First, we started with the road issues, a follow-up to our discussion yesterday. The Road Safety Commission CEO has committed to become the man responsible for all your mobility concerns. So in fact, he says he's going to give us a number to be calling when we have challenges with mobility, road accidents, crashes and all that. Second point, ECG. Every day there's a concern about customer service. Some people think ECG is being given a bad name to hang it. Some people think there's a preconceived notion to sell it. Minister is saying no, that's not the plan. We are going to have 3 options: entity concession, multiple lease, service franchise. Sky says you explain the 3 to me later. So me, I don't have the full details. But basically we are tracking the ECG situation. The committee presented this report to the minister early April. He says a position paper is being prepared for cabinet. I sincerely believe that position paper should be made public, or at least the report's executive summary should be made public, because we need a rigorous public debate on the 3 options and what it means. Because the ministry is going to choose one option, or probably categorize the options into grades and give cabinet the chance to choose. Whatever that is, we need to know. Let's talk about the MPP. So, Sky, this one, just a newspaper review. I didn't even review all the stories. The sheer number of stories on MPP thank you tour, and if you analyze the stories, they are not very positive.
Negative.
So for example, if you take Citi, we had Agyapong giving some opinion. Then we had a lot of reports on what happened yesterday. Some stabbing of some Care University student, his hospital police report. Then there's whole different people talking. Kojom Pianin speaking. Not even that. Former deputy speaker.
Joseph
Osewusu speaking. Freddie Blaze speaking. And it's all opinions on whether the thank you tour is benefiting or not. Freddie Blaze says thank you tour is great, keep it up. Bache Jaku says no, thank you tour is becoming divisive. Kojom Pianin says thank you tour, he hasn't seen the point. Then there are others like Kwame Agyapong who thinks the party should sort of take stock, go into conclave, review the report before they even come out with any public thing. And then there's even Sami Uyafi wrote an article yesterday as a journalist basically saying he thinks the thank you tour is becoming counterproductive. Yeah. They should stop it. Then now we have been told Kennedy Agyapong has
withdrawn from
the race. But before we get there, let's...
Not the race, the thank you tour.
The thank you tour. So here's...
you call it campaign though.
Here is... So what is this a report or a voice clip? I don't know what this is. Okay, you just play what they put in front of me.
What happened yesterday, I want to pull out, or myself and my team want to pull out, because lives are threatened. I don't think I can protect my team enough. So we want out so that Dr. Bawumia can do his campaign tour. I admit that he was the flag bearer. So if he's going round, and for the sake of unity, he invites it, and it turns out to be something different. I mean, we just have to stay away for them to do their own thing. So in brief, all I'm saying is, my team is pulling out, but I still call for unity in the party. This will not scare me to leave the party. We built the party from 1990 till now. So as for intimidation, they should rest assured that intimidation will not help them. I'm not somebody you can intimidate for me to stay out of the party. I'm still a party member. I'm calling for unity. And therefore, if I'm preaching for unity, I will not preach violence. I just want everybody, all supporters, to calm down. But I'll make sure justice is done to the student who was hurt. Publications are coming out that my supporters were fighting over 2,000 cedis. It wasn't 2,000, it was just 1,000 cedis. That Ali Suraj security that he brought snatched from the students. So it's not my support who were fighting over 2,000. That is not true. And a matter like this, we have to be seen apologizing. We should be apologetic. But if you come out with false publications like that, then we are being defensive. It will not help the unity that we want. So I'm pleading with those on the other side managing social media, saying all sorts of things. I've seen it all. I don't want to respond, because in one breath, Agyapong is preaching unity, and another breath is preaching violence. It doesn't make me the real Agyapong they know. But what happened at Brekum, I needed to check Abronye for him to stop whatever he's doing. There is a clear indication from Brekum to Kumasi, tells me that, look, you are not needed, you are not wanted. So we are pulling out. Let them do their own thing. And at an appropriate time, I assure them that we are also going to campaign. I want everybody to know, every party member to know that I'm going to contest. Until they should be ready. And respectfully, nobody can tell me to back off. I will not back off. Because we started from 1990 till now. So in short, I want to say a big thank you to everybody. And because of what happened last night, that is why we're pulling out.
So that was Kennedy Agyapong announcing his withdrawal from the Think You Talk. Hafiz Tijani is Ashanti Regional and Middle Belt Bureau Chief. Hafiz, thanks for joining us. Good morning. Were you at the at the church where this incident occurred, this stabbing, or how did you get to know of it? What else can you tell us?
Well, but I was not at the event grounds when the incident happened, but we picked information and we had to follow up with the police and also sources within the camp of Kennedy Agyapong and people who were there at the event center. So we're told that because usually this or such activities have to do with some euphoria, sort of. So we have the Kunti and also the Katanga guys coming sometimes to perform the Jama session just to boost the morale at the event ground. So we're told that Kennedy Agyapong was recently at one of the events where these Kunti Jama group performed. Then he was happy about their performance. So when he was coming, they thought that they should come and then maybe cheer up Kennedy Agyapong because he was going to be at the ground. So his friend, Kennedy Agyapong's friend, came in to also take part in this event. So whilst leaving, he gave some money to these Jama guys who were around because they went to him and trying to also sing the morale towards him. Then he gave them some money. Then we're told that some unknown, well-built men who came from nowhere, who we are told are New Patriotic Party members or supporters, came in and took the money from the guys. So it resulted in a confrontation. Even before yesterday, we were told that they had an altercation because when the well-built men came, we were told that they asked the Kunti guys to stop singing and chanting the name of Kennedy Agyapong, but they refused, and then they continued. Then when the money issue came, they came to take the money, and that resulted in a confrontation. We're told that gunshots were fired before even the stabbing incident. So this victim was rushed to the Kumasi Teaching Hospital when he was stabbed, and currently he's on admission. He's been taken care of by doctors there, and Kennedy Agyapong and his team followed up to the hospital. Then they lodged a complaint at the Kumasi Central Police Station for investigations to begin.
All right. Do we know if anybody has been arrested by the police?
So far, no arrest has been made.
So what was the plan for the tour? Were there other meetings scheduled for the region? Do we know where Dr. Bamiyan is supposed to go? That's question one. And question two, now that Kennedy says he's withdrawn, have we had any reaction from the party?
So even before his announcement to withdraw, today we're told that since dawn, there have been series of meetings between the General Secretary and the organizer of the party trying to ensure that Kennedy Agyapong would rethink his decision. But we were told that meeting didn't end well because he said his supporters were being attacked, and he has noticed some of the biasness towards his supporters whenever they go to some of these grounds. And he thinks that this is the best decision to take so that he will put his supporters, the life of his supporters, in further danger. But we're told that there were series of meetings between him and top executives of the party this morning before coming out to announce his resignation. But so far, the party has not given any official statement on this action by Kennedy Agyapong yet.
So basically, watch this space, right? Are you are basically saying let's see what happens today, based on the fact that the meeting was inconclusive, and therefore Kennedy has also withdrawn. So we don't even know if the tour will continue today.
Exactly. So we're told that they were due for a dancing formula today, and we are not privy to whether or not they are going to continue with the tour today.
Then we'll leave it here, and then if you have any update, let us know. So obviously your antenna is on. If there's going to be any meeting or any announcement, we'll hear it first from you. Thank you, Hafiz Tijani, Ashanti Regional Correspondent. So basically, there's no clarity on whether the tour will continue because apparently the meeting is inconclusive.
But,
yes, you've been saying a few things about this.
You see, look, I think we have covered enough politics in this country to know that some of these things are just faux pas that ought not have even been made in the first place. Look, you lost an election how many months ago? 4 months ago, right? And it was the most disastrous election defeat ever recorded in the history of the Fourth Republican Constitution. Many people are still angry. If you go online, you hear people and the expressions that come from them. It is obvious that there was something about the administration that people still resent. And the way they voted the government out ought to be something that should signal an opportunity for you to sit down and reflect deeply. You commissioned an audit into what accounted for your loss. A report was submitted a couple of weeks ago. I don't even think that is a couple of weeks ago.
Like a week ago.
What the party ought to have done, in my respectful view, is to properly sit down and internalize the report. Because we are told that it is a voluminous document.
Yeah.
That would require that some strategic thinkers within the party, people who have been in leadership position before, people who the leaders defer to, will come together. They will call they will do some retreat.
Yeah.
In Akosombo or maybe Alisa Tema or somewhere. Sit down and internalize the report. Come to terms with what exactly the eminent people found when they went onto the ground. And based upon that, they would then map the way forward in line with what the eminent people found in the report. All you did was to call a National Council meeting after having received the report. A press conference was subsequently held, and then boom.
No, and then they said they were going to do
amendments to the Constitution.
And
then boom.
So hold on. So you're saying that even before the amendment to Constitution, they probably should have had some people comb through the report and sift out maybe some plan of action which could include amendment.
Yeah, there may be things you agree with or things you disagree with in terms of the findings of the committee.
So you can go back and forth a bit.
Exactly, and find a common ground.
And it doesn't have to be made public.
Yes. And the NDC didn't make theirs public.
Up to today, we don't know what was in the report.
I celebrate the NDC for making that strategic decision.
They didn't make anybody know.
People speculated, people said all kinds of things. People went with microphones into the faces of the likes of Dua Jaho.
They said they won't tell you anything.
And the late Kwesi Botwe.
Yeah.
But we did not get much into the public domain.
Yeah.
If you are strategic about these things and you are not all concerned about, oh, let me leave, it's my time to leave. This guy failed, so let me take over now. What are you doing? Look, the NDC government just took office. There will be mistakes they will make. There will be great things that they will do. John Mahama yesterday launched a very sweet initiative. These are things that you sit down as an opposition party. You should reflect on the ones that will help us as a country, the ones that will not help us, and sometime in August, then you are out with constructive alternatives and celebrating those that you can celebrate. But what have we seen? Immediately after the government came into office, they were firing on all salvos. And many of these oppositions are not coordinated. Someone is saying something on this network, another person is saying something, and many of these things are own goals. They sometimes even prove that the position you held in government, when you were in government, is the very thing that you are opposing today. People are saying declare state of emergency on Galamsey. When you were minister, what did you do about it? These things were raised even on this network. People came on this network and said that look, it will not happen because of ABCD. What has changed in 4 months that will require you to now say as a minister no longer in office that let's do state of emergency? The point I'm making is that the MPP has got to go back into the shadows. Read carefully what Professor Michael Quaid found. The recommendations that it has made. Internalize them. And based on sound thinking, invite people who understand strategy
to deal with it.
Samens is there. It's done strategy.
He's not interested in that.
No, I'm just saying.
No, he's not interested in that.
I'm saying. There are many people
I know what you're saying.
This leadership retreat.
I get you.
They will call you and they will speak to you that because of A, B, C, D, do this, and then you take the leadership initiative.
You think that they are scoring own goals?
I think
my question for Samens is is this not a normal reaction to a difficult loss? So it's part of the venting process. So that if you look at it from a long-term view, party has lost an election, people are angry. So sometimes these things happen, and then they normalize. So
all the time, not sometimes.
So
all the time.
they storm, they norm, they reform, and then they begin to perform. Or so are you tilted towards there, or more a leadership vacuum that is being exploited?
I will start from where Sky left off.
In 2 minutes.
It is a must happen. You understand that they should really consume the content of the report, so that they can strategize with it. Okay. Now, having said that, I do not think that the thank you tour should be a consequential outcome of the report. Okay, for me, I see it as a completely separate item. Now, my departure is that, one, I do not think that it was a good idea for former vice president to invite the contestants to the thank you tour.
You think so?
Yes, I don't think it was a good idea. In his quest to give a semblance of unity, I think that is where he is backfired. And there was no point inviting them.
If you hadn't had a prior private meeting to discuss the modalities of it.
Well, maybe they did. But people also have their own agenda.
Because from the way it plays out, you go to a place, different people talk.
Exactly.
So it's almost like they have not done the background
There's
work.
no meeting that could have salvaged this thing, because all the aspirants or the former aspirants interface with the MPP community differently.
Yes.
And they have their strongest bases in different geographical areas. So you don't expect them to come along with you and go and do yes sir to you when they get to where they consider is their strong base. So that was wrong on the part.
Wrong move.
Secondly, Dr. Bawumia should have been advised not to attempt bringing out the contents of the report as known to him, because the theme of the exercise was to thank people regardless.
So once you start bringing certain content out,
you are talking about justification.
Where do we stop?
Where do we start? And but leaders hear voices. Yeah. They hear voices. So I would imagine that his effort was to react to something that was also pressing. But in doing so, this is what. So whether they will stop, I don't think they will stop. Because they actually owe people that action of gratitude. So they have to but stick to the thanking people.
And stop reducing portions of the report that you have.
You see, in the first place, Dr. Bawumia, with all due respect, as things stand now, you are not the leader of the party.
So it's not even in your position to
so
be inviting
it's not even in your position to be exposing the content of the report. It's not crap. At worst, let the party chairman do it.
Correct.
Because he's the leader of the party.
You understand? This is where. So we are. It's like scoring all goals. But going forward, you still owe it to people to thank them, because your picture was on the ballot box.
So there's nothing wrong with going around to thank people.
No,
the problem is inviting the people and also stick
go
to
and thank people. There are chiefs. There are people who stuck their necks out for you. You understand? So go thank them. As for what is contained in the report, it has to be consumed by the leadership of the report. Then, based on that, they craft a strategy.
From what you're saying, you seem to agree with Kwame Agyapong's views on these issues, because I think he said very similar, that he believes that the party should internalize the report. He thinks a lot of the reaction is too early. And there has to be a cooling off period and all of those things.
I think maybe when we have time, we should play back
that yes,
because he made a lot very of valid point about even electing the flag bearer ahead of doing the party elections.
That one is debatable. Though.
No, everything else is debatable. I'm just saying that I tend to agree with him. You understand? In fact, before we end, yesterday the OSP, in his submission to the Constitutional Review Committee, also made some very, very, very important issues.
What did he say?
About lifestyle audit of public officials.
Yes. Yes.
I think we should discuss this thing someday.
I will retrieve the audio.
Very, very important.
Lifestyle audit.
Yes.
Lifestyle audit.
Yeah.
He also wants the OSP to be constitutionally guaranteed because he feels like now it's just an act.
Like the EC chair, like the CJ.
Not even the person.
Yeah,
more the
office,
institution.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And you see, we can all learn from history. When Nana Addo lost the 2008 election, when did he begin going back to the people?
Yes.
When he lost the 2012 elections.
It was a while later. It wasn't immediately.
You see, there is also the opportunity for even the candidate who lost the election to go and sit somewhere and cool off. Think, reflect.
Cool off.
Do you want to do it again?
Yeah,
do you think the appetite is there? Do you think that
the whole thing seems rushed to you?
Yeah, it's like,
business as usual.
No. Sit down, reflect on all the angles.
Consult.
Exactly.
I get you.
Look at it in the round.
Bro, even if he went there in January, only to go and thank people, just to go and thank people, there'll be nothing wrong with it. But now going to thank people and then telling them what is in the thing and advising them and reminding them why we lost.
As you say, leaders hear different things. The pressures are many. 9:40 City Breakfast Show. We are going to do a couple of quick interviews. Stay with us. This is the City Breakfast Show.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
Burna Boy, Trevor Noah, Black Coffee, Chimamanda the writer, Febe Mugugu the fashion designer, and many more young African icons didn't get where they are by following mainstream paths. They did things differently. Say yes to doing things differently. Say yes to the creative person within you, the maker, innovator, entrepreneur. Chart a new path, learn new skills, globally recognized by the American Welding Society and Pearson's BTech. So whether in Ghana or abroad, you will shine. Say yes to DTI, a learning experience that is next level. Go to dtiafrica.com or call 054-169-3534.
Mom, please can I have some milk in my Milo?
Have you tasted it?
No, but I didn't see you add milk.
Hey, taste it before you ask me any questions.
Hey, milk na chemu say.
This is Milo all in one. Milo Pampa, cocoa, malt, milk and show, everything is inside.
Milo All-in-One already comes with more milk. Just mix with water and taste the nourishing goodness of quality cocoa, malt, and more milk all in one sachet. Milo, the energy to go further.
This advert is FDA approved.
Football's magic never fades, even from the couch. The sound of halftime banter replays at the touch of a button. Cheering with my chosen crew. Pure game magic. It's like I'm there, but with a better view from the comfort of my home. Priceless. From the March 3rd to April 30th, pay with your MasterCard, online or in-store, and stand a chance to win a unique priceless viewing experience of the UEFA Champions League final for you and your friends. MasterCard, proud supporter of non-stop fans. T&Cs apply.
Dear home, no interest for 2 years. Are you ready to step into your dream home? With Lakeside Estates' exclusive offer, you can own your own home in just 2 years with no interest payment. This offers you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle change. Choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Your future awaits you. Imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. Call us today on 020-477-5043 or 020-477-5042. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour for our available homes. T&C supplied. Make your dream a reality. Lakeside Estate. Quality homes for all.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Electroland Extravaganza Easter Promotion no Emanin Chow Water na wunya discounts ewa ye Samsung Easter Promotion na ye media Easter Bonanza ni die deals a hodu obebre say adie ubenya Nasco banner e free 499 Ghana cedis na so 1599 cedis a ubenya 32-inch Nasco LED TV na ye Nasco top mount freezers ni die e start free 1799 Ghana cedis na ye Nasco chest freezer no 2,599 Ghana cedis pay o. Ubenya free desktop computer. So wuto ye Nasco 6 kg, 7 kg, 8 kg, and 10 kg washing machine no. Kanwo na kwa ye showroom sa wa Ghana fane nyina na chedie ne buso. Nemu minsheshe kakra wo ho. Electroland Ghana Limited. Biaye ba kwa e wo nemu nyama efe na ne board dafem.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
46 after 9, and we have friends from the All Private Education Cooperative Credit Union, APECU, join us in the studio. I have with me two ladies and gentleman, Professor Kofi Boache, he's a board member, Priscilla Zomelo, and Shelley Alote is secretary of APECU. So, gentlemen, ladies, welcome to the studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
What is APECU? Sounds like Apreku, my daughter. Oh, no, name of some place I know. What is Apeku?
All right, good morning, my brother, and good morning to your listeners.
Good to have you.
Yes, it's good to be here.
Great.
So Apeku is All Private Education Cooperative Credit Union.
Right.
Yes, it's an initiative by the Private Education Council,
Mm.
which has been existing for some time. Apparently, the Apeku is fairly new.
Okay.
And so we are about launching it.
Right.
And the purpose of APECU is to give better quality financial service to all members in the private education fraternity.
Okay, so for who are your members? Is it basic school, private, tertiary, secondary? Who are your members basically?
Anyone in the private education space can be a part of APECU.
Okay. Does it run to university level or it ends somewhere? Is it from basic all the way to tertiary?
So the purpose is to cover all private education. So by extension to the tertiary.
Okay, that's exciting. So who is eligible to become a member of APECU? Yeah.
Every worker in private schools in Ghana. Teachers, non-teaching staff, once you are in the private space, proprietors, heads of schools, even families of those in the private education space.
Really?
Once we can link you to private education, you are eligible to join.
Which of them are you? Are you a school owner, a teacher?
I'm a school owner.
Okay.
And
okay, so how does that benefit you? I mean, for those who are, everyone else who's listening, because I connected, because you're a school owner, then tell us how it will benefit you, for example, and to all the other members.
First, as the owner of the school, you know, we always have to be fixing something. One school is on recess, so I can quickly run to the credit union and get the help that I need before school reopens. And then as a teacher, most of the time the teachers come to us, the proprietors or the owners, for two major things: to pay their fees, to better their education, further their education,
Further education,
and then
yes.
rent advances.
Oh, rent advance.
Yes. And
they come to you, the owners.
You don't have it. Sometimes you don't believe that you don't have it. But with this, there will be members as well, and so the help can come from the credit union.
So once they're part of the credit union, they can then apply and then get some soft loans.
You can apply for rent advance.
I see.
And for any other, once you are a regular saver.
Right, but why should I choose a credit union over a financial institution, for example?
Yeah, it's important to choose a credit union because the credit union is the friendly financial institution.
Okay.
Compared to the traditional banks, the credit union will not demand a lot of documentations when you need financial support.
Because already you're a member of the association. Okay.
So you are an owner, and number two, the rate is very competitive. As it stands now, a credit union can only give you about 70% per annum.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to the traditional banks. Now, when you look at, and you don't need, like I said, a lot of documentation. You need only one member who is one member to guarantee for you.
And then that's it.
And that's it. You are qualified.
Then
and the services are delivered less than 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, Shirley, let's hear your voice now, right? Where are you located? How can we be a part? And what's your eligibility criteria?
So, we are currently located in the Jack and Jill School at Roman Ridge.
Roman Ridge,
yes,
okay.
Yes. And like we've mentioned, to qualify, you need to be in the private education space.
Correct.
Yes. Once we guarantee that you are in that space, you can register with a registration fee of 20 cedis.
Okay.
And then we have two types of membership, the individual and then the corporate. So as an individual, the minimum share that you can buy is 100 cedis. And then you can make a minimum contribution, monthly contribution of 50 cedis.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, that's cool. It's quite affordable.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. So your office is at Jack and Jill School.
Yes.
You have some contact details you want to share for those of us who want to get in touch with you.
Yes, we do. We have some contact details. You can reach out to us through this line 0244 690796.
0244
690796.
Okay, that's quite easy to get.
Yes.
Right. So after registration, how can one make deposits into the account? You make some standing orders. What happens?
Yes.
Or someone will go around the schools and collect it.
We intend on having reps in the schools.
Okay.
But apart from that, you can do it via your phone wherever you are.
Okay.
We have a USSD code that you can just dial and then make your deposit.
What's the code?
The code is *771 *10 then #.
Okay.
And then the institution code for APECU is 5467. Can I repeat this?
Sure.
You dial *771 *10 #.
Okay.
And then the code for the institution is 5467. And then you follow the prompts from there.
To simplify things, can I just issue a standing order to my bankers that every other month this is my commitment?
And that is the simplest way for many of us. So if I, for example, I have a standing order with my bank, every Monday transfer.
Oh, that's interesting. But how secure are you? How secure is this institution? If I'm putting my money in there every other time, I don't want to hear tomorrow in the news APECU something.
So the most interesting thing is that APECU is is under the Credit Union Association of Ghana.
Okay.
And so the KUA is actually the body that oversees all credit unions.
Right.
So once we are under KUA, you are sure you are safe. Yeah.
Because teachers our money.
Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic.
Teachers our money.
Once APECU is under KUA, you are safe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And by extension, you are safe because KUA is also safe. You realize that when the haircut was going on, I mean, credit unions were not touched.
Oh, they didn't touch credit unions, they didn't touch teachers, their own, so we are safe.
We are safe.
Okay. Shirley, when is the launch? I'm told you're going to launch this soon. Where and when is it?
So we are launching tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the 1st of May.
Tomorrow's a holiday.
Yes.
That means all teachers can be part.
Yes.
Very strategic. I like that. Smart.
So we are launching at the East Airport School.
Okay.
Yes, at 10 a.m. Within an hour and a half, we should be
You're
out
done.
of it. Yes.
Who can be there?
All people in the private education space.
Everyone, teachers. So you're saying if I'm a cleaner in a private school, I can be part of APECU.
Yes.
If I sell kenke in a private school,
Once you're affiliated to
York
that
and Gali
school.
and things, I can be part of APECU.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. And with as low as 50 Ghana cedis a month,
Yes.
we're good to go.
Yes, we're good to go.
So beyond maybe getting soft loans and things like that to sort myself out when I'm in some financial constraint, is there any other benefit I get for being a part of APECU?
All right. So what happens is that we invest the excess funds.
Okay.
The funds that are not in use, we invest, and then the returns on it are given back to members.
So.
So you get some sort of interest on your savings. And then when your shares also, you get some sort of dividend on your shares.
Okay. So that's a good one. So it's happening tomorrow. Where the venue again, please?
East Airport International School.
East Airport International School. The time is 10 a.m. We are calling out to all stakeholders in private education. Come, let us launch the All Private Education Cooperative Credit Union. APECU is in our interest. This is teachers in the private sector helping teachers. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Not
I like
only
it.
teachers.
I mean,
school
working
owners.
members
Yeah.
in private education
Yes.
sector.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thanks for that correction. Let's take your very final words before you take leave of us, Madam Priscilla Zomelo.
You cannot miss out on this. If you are in the private education space, this is for you.
Okay.
This is for your peace of mind. I want to especially appeal to my fellow school owners that we should stop turning ourselves into mini banks and get our people to save so that they will be able to get what they need directly.
Right.
Then we can get
Some
our
peace of mind. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
All right, so I want to say that this is something that has come to help the private practitioner. And so I entreat all school owners, teachers, school administrators, anybody in the education fraternity to be part of it. Because, I mean, when you find these things and then you see professors as part, you cannot joke with it.
Nice.
We have myself, I'm part of it.
Right.
We have Professor Simpson from University of Ghana
Right.
is part of it.
Right.
A lot of other big guys are part of it. And so, please, teachers, all my teachers are going to be part. So if you're a teacher, join it.
Thank you. We'll be there, Shirley.
So this promises to be one of the biggest credit unions in the country because we have over, should I say 1,000 members? We have over 1,000 members. So the contributions are going to come nationwide. So
Right.
this is a
Is
good...
it member institutions or individual members? Because private schools in Ghana are plenty.
Yes.
So about 1,000 member institutions
Yes.
or schools, right?
Yes.
Wow, more than 1,000 across the country.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay,
So this promises to be big.
Great.
And I don't think we want to miss out.
I like it. If I'm not a private teacher, can I be part? Maybe I do 1 hour a weekend,
Yeah,
Cause
once you
nice.
have something to do with private education, you can be part because parents
Yes.
are part.
Oh.
The PTA
so
in Ghana, PTA,
they're
are
all part of this.
APECU.
Right. Professor Kofi Boache, you're board member, All Private Education Cooperative Credit Union, together with Priscilla Zomelo and then Shelley Anote, Secretary. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today to talk about the launch of APECU. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We are grateful.
Wonderful.
We are grateful.
Look
Wonderful.
forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Okay. We'll see about it.
I'm losing composure. I really need to focus. I really need to focus. There's something inside you.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Tell me if you did like I really did for you. Oh, like I did for you. I'm more young, I did for two. I feel to risk for you.
As top of the hour, tomorrow we are all heading to the Oil Dome for the family consecration service. Thank you so much for doing the listening. My name is Caleb Kuda Elia. You heard Bernardino Kokov, Les Samuel Atamensa join us. Richard de la Sky was here. Show was produced by Sheba Araba Baining, and Samuel Akom was here as well. Edwin Kwao Kofi was the man on technical, of course. Susu Graham was here. Godfred Abeku Odum, the richest man, was the man on technical. As always, thank you for doing the listening. School Madam will be coming through on Branch in the City. She'll be keeping you company until prime midday, where we'll bring you the City Prime News, and then we'll go on to bring you very compelling programming across the day. Your School Madam is ready. She says I should get out of the studio so she can take over. Well. Ajubi Riafia Kenton is here with the news at 10 before she comes in. So good morning, Ajubi.
Good morning, Caleb, and welcome to the City News at 10. I